Angels baseball on Bally Sports is presented by OCNavigator.org. Build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. And by your Southern California Chevy dealers. Jose Suarez on the mound for the Angels. First pitch to Nick Ahmed in for a strike as we are quickly underway. Actually, it missed. It's 1-0. Quickly underway here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. I'm Trent Rush with Denny Hawking. Got to hustle our way upstairs to get ready for the start of this one. That has been a theme through spring training so far as Suarez gets set to work on Ahmed. 1-1 here. 1-2 pitch, take it away, 2-1 for Jose Suarez. Denny, back-to-back years, sub-4 ERA. Looks like he's going to be slotted in that fifth spot in the rotation and just continues to keep getting better at 25 years old.
You look at what he did in the second half last year. 7-1. Just he was able to go down to the minor leagues, work on some things. Yeah, he developed that little sweeper that they call it right now, being able to add that to his arsenal, and it really helped him in the second half last year.
Ahmed, the shortstop for Arizona, come back right back to him. Suarez knocks it down, picks it up, toss over to Jake Lamb at first base. Get a chance to meet the Diamondbacks batting order here. It was Ahmed at the top, 1-3 on the putout. Carson Kelly's the catcher. He's hitting now with Jake McCarthy behind him. Christian Walker's the cleanup man at first base. Evan Longoria, offseason pickup on a one-year deal, 37 years old now. Davin Smith's the DH, Diego Castillo, Uriel Munoz, and Dominic Canzone make out the rest of the Diamondbacks order. 1-0 to Carson Kelly. Swing and a miss there.
And Trent, when you look at Suarez, what he did last year, 11 starts following the All-Star break, had a 2.81 ERA, 58 strikeouts. You can tell that when he went down to the minor leagues to work on something specific, he really brought that back with him from Salt Lake.
Big swing and a miss again. So Suarez gets that one right past Carson Kelly. So we know how good Suarez is when he gets ahead in counts, as we talked about in the open. But behind the first two batters, battling back, that's going to drop in there for a base hit. So Carson Kelly is the first base runner of the game. One out knock here in the first inning. Center fielder Jake McCarthy.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our Hyundai key for the day, talking about Jose Suarez, and now's the time. Now's the time, just basically meaning it's time to go. You've seen all these guys that are ahead of you, that have pitched in the most recent days where they've done really well. These guys competing for that sixth spot. He's going to have the opportunity during the regular season to be able to set the stage for their day afterwards. So now's the time, be able to get it going once the season starts at the end of the month.
Another first pitch off the plate. Battles back with a strike here to McCarthy. If Jose Suarez, a little bit of an interesting spot because he is the 5-man in a 6-man rotation. You really know the 4 ahead of him are clearly ahead of him right now. But then you look at all the guys battling for that 6th spot, and that looks like that one hit him. I don't know if it hit the end of the bat or it got his hand there. It looks like that hit him. So McCarthy's aboard on the hit by pitch. So back-to-back Diamondbacks aboard.
And just here in the top of the first, he's just not as sharp as he obviously wants to be, working behind all 3 batters that he's faced so far. He's got to get ahead, pitch to who he really is, that 40% ground ball rate. Now would be a really good time to get that ground ball.
Here's Christian Walker. Goes after the first pitch and hits that one over to Hunter Renfroe in left field. Yes, I said left field for Hunter Renfroe. The Angels are going with a bit of a different defensive alignment today. Brandon Drury's playing shortstop. Renfroe's in left. He'll be in right field most of the season. But in right field, it's Jared Walsh as we get another look at this.
It's right down the middle. This is a veteran hitter right here in Christian Walker. Being able to sit on something in the middle of the zone, knowing that Suarez needs to start working ahead.
37-year-old Evan Longoria. First year with the Diamondbacks. So the first pitch strike. That time Suarez able to get ahead. Goria said it was down to 3 teams. Either wanted to be in Tampa, Arizona, or with the Giants. He's got Holmes the first 2. Hits this one to center field. Phillips going back for it. Gets to the rim of the track. Catches it on the run. That's going to bring in a run. Kelly able to tag and score, and the Diamondbacks take an early 1-0 lead here in the first.
No surprise right there. Evan Longoria, the 15-year Major League veteran, comes up in an RBI situation. Again, gets it done. What a career he's had, Trent. I mean, Rookie of the Year back in 08. All-Star game appearances in 8, 9, and 10. And continues it later on with Tampa Bay. Gold Glove in 17. I mean, he's really done it all.
0-2 to Pavin Smith. 1-0. But yeah, a little defensive switch up here in spring training. Chance, I guess, to get these guys an opportunity in some different spots. 1-0 to Smith. Pavin Smith sees that in there for a strike.
There's so much flexibility within the roster this year. Guys are so capable of playing multiple positions. Jared Walsh out in right field, away from the normal spot. He stands at first base.
1-1 to Smith. Fouled back. Phil Nevin said today he wanted to have Walsh on that right side, used to playing first base. He kind of wanted to just keep him over on that side. Does that make a difference when you're switching as an outfielder coming from a place like first base?
No, I think it really does, because you're seeing the same angle when you're used to looking into towards home plate into the contact zone.
1-2 to Smith. Fouled back again. And I guess for Walsh, he's comfortable at first, not really in the outfield, though he did play left field in the All-Star game in 2021. But I guess it would make sense that right field would be more natural.
I think it definitely is more natural. I always look at it like he's taking care of one of his veteran guys. He doesn't have to run all the way across the field to get to his spot.
Check swing, he held. Sets up the count 2-2. Right.
Always felt like when I had to go play the outfield, Tom Kelly was always like, what's the farthest field that we're at? If we're in the third base, I got to go to right field, Dennis. Can I get the short field one time?
2-2 to Smith. Got him looking. Strike 3 called. And that's how the inning comes to a close. So a strikeout for Jose Suarez, but a run comes across for Arizona. They have a 1-0 lead heading to the home half.
My hair started to thin, and I took a pharmaceutical drug that caused severe side effects such as sexual dysfunction. Nutrafol is a drug-free, natural supplement that gave me my hair, my health, and my confidence back.
Get started at Nutrafol.com/man.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out that General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
Experience the capability of the complete line of SUVs at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
You've been endlessly searching for a new job, but it means you're missing out on everything else.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Create a free Indeed account and get back to the fun while employers search for you.
Childproofing is hard. So we made one thing simple. Duracell lithium coin batteries. They're the only ones with a bitter coating to help discourage swallowing.
A Corona and palm trees.
A Corona and calm seas.
And a bomb breeze.
And our strong knees.
It's Andy and Snoop.
And we're eating Guam cheese.
Guam cheese?
Yeah, I don't know. I ran out of rhymes.
If your child has diabetes, you'll love how easy Dexcom G7 is. It's on, and he's off. You can see his glucose numbers right on your phone, so you can always be there for him with Dexcom G7.
MLB Network wants to hear from you. Follow MLB Network on social media to join the conversation and see more from your favorite shows.
Brett Phillips to lead things off for the Angels here in the bottom of the first inning. Already down a run, 1-0 to the Diamondbacks here. Tempe Diablo, Brandon Drury playing some shortstop behind him. Then Jared Walsh is in right field. After that, Rendon and Renfroe will hoppy the DH today. Lamb, Stassi, Paris make up the rest of the order. And it looks like we already have a pitch timer violation. And it's going to be called, I think they called this on Zach Davies, the pitcher.
They actually called it on Ahmed at shortstop being on the grass.
So there you go. Learning the new rules in spring training. 1-0 to Brett Phillips. And I think if you're Brett Phillips right now, you'll take whatever you can get. Now quickly ahead 2-0.
Seems like every at bat he's been 0-2, trying to find himself in that batter's box. Now he's a complete opposite situation in 2-0.
Hits this one hard to right field, and Brett Phillips puts a charge into it. Brett Phillips leaves the ballpark. Gets into the leadoff spot and drives a 2-0 pitch to deep right field. That has to feel good for Phillips. 1-1.
I know earlier I mentioned the Hyundai key for today. We talked about Suarez. Now's the time, but it also relates directly to Brett Phillips. And he has definitely not been the guy that the Angels have hoped that they had signed coming into this spring, being that fourth outfielder. I had a chance to talk to him, and I'll get into his second at bat. But that's a good moment for that veteran guy right there.
Here's Brandon Drury. Look, for Brett Phillips, 1 for 20, 12 strikeouts, 2 walks so far in camp before that last swing. And you know that, look, he signed a major league contract as this one gets fouled back by Drury. The expectation is for Brett Phillips to be that fourth outfielder, and you stay in spring training, the stats don't matter. Well, at a certain point, they start to. And for him to look like he kind of got some of his timing back right there, Denny, that was a really, really nice swing.
Well, timing is everything, your timing and your rhythm. But the thing for him, being behind in counts every single time. I think he's been behind in counts because he's trying to figure out where his mechanics are playing, fighting that, so maybe he gets in the batter's box, and he's trying to go through that checklist. Free mind, be able to get ahead, lay out some pitches. Obviously, the violation by the shortstop. Just take advantage of your opportunity. So the time is now.
Comes Jared Walsh with the man on. So the first 2 Angels aboard, including Phillips on the homer. Hits this one the other way. Can't entirely ban the shift. Maybe you just realign some guys. Jared Walsh says, thank you very much. I will take that left field line. Now 3 straight hits for the Angels.
Coming out and just banging right out of the chute. Walshy taking advantage of no more shift right here. Barrel on ball, finds that left field line. Professional hitting. I had a chance to ask him in the morning, and I said, you know, what are you trying to do? And he goes, just get better each and every day. And for me, that I translate that to trying to see pitches. He's been seeing a bunch of pitches, walking as of late, be able to ambush a first pitch strike thrower in Kyle Davies.
First pitch to Rendon is a strike. Angels really couldn't start this game much better on the offensive side. Get Zach Davies. He's fighting for a spot in that Diamondbacks rotation. Chop foul.
And this is what I think Angels Nation is really hoping they see. Just runs early. Being able to, you look at Suarez, you know, gives up that run in the top of the first, come in the dugout, get some water, refresh, have the conversation with the catcher, pitching coach, see where you can make that adjustment. In order for that to happen, you've got to do some damage on the bottom side.
0-2 to Rendon. That one's high. We're also seeing a lot of different Angels, maybe tweaking some swings, making some adjustments. Trent Woodward was brought on to the hitting staff here. So we're seeing some of those adjustments. Of course, Woodward responsible for Taylor Ward as Anthony Rendon hits a deep fly ball left field, and that one is going to end up on the lawn. A 3-run homer for Rendon. For Anthony, his second homer of the spring, second of the inning for the Angels. And they're on top 4-1.
And just like that, Trent, you take a 1-0 lead in the top half and put up a 4 spot. Still some action to go here with nobody out. What an incredible start for these Angels right here. Anthony Rendon, professional hitter, always ready to hit. He's so early, and when you watch some of these guys, Taylor Ward in rhythm. has really good rhythm when he's trying to get his foot up and then down, stay in motion. Anthony Rendon's the kind of guy that likes to just sit into his legs, get his foot down, track the ball, and he's got such good barrel awareness, finds this ball bottom of the zone, but going up there and having a plan, being able to keep the ball off the ground, hit a sac fly. Wind's blowing out today, takes advantage of those conditions for a 3-run bomb.
Danny, you and I talked, start of the show, about the thump in this Angels lineup. And you don't expect it from Brett Phillips. You're happy to take it, but that's not where you're necessarily looking for power. You are from Rendon.
Yeah.
A great gap-to-gap doubles hitter, but does have power. And then you bring in a guy that hit 29 home runs a year ago in Renfroe.
And I think really what the Angels are doing is trying to find themselves, obviously, here in spring training and use it to their advantage for figuring out what's going to translate into the regular season. That being said, everybody's taking notice of what's going on. So when you get into the regular season, you realize the depth that the Angels are going to have this year, and you have to pitch accordingly.
2 balls and a strike on Renfroe as Anthony Rendon all smiles. That Angel dugout. Cadet missed 2-2.
And going back to you saying Anthony Rendon smiling in that dugout, that's always a really good sign, right?
I think he's enjoying the game more. He's healthy. I think he feels some freedom just from his body. And that has to make a difference over the course of a season. Just being healthy could put you in a better mood.
It really does. When you wake up in the morning and your body sounds like a construction site, it's not a good thing. But him being healthy, being able to really tap into who he is and why he's here, to be a leader, to carry some of the load, and every once in a while be the best guy on the field and in that lineup and be the most dangerous guy at times.
You get the sense that Rendon has embraced that leadership role a little bit more maybe now than before as Renfroe draws a walk. Logan O'Hoppe, next batter for the Angels, designated hitter today. Key piece in that Brandon Marsh trade with the Phillies from a year ago. O'Hoppe, a key player profile here in this one. Why not? He figures to be an important part of the Angel future, the top prospect in the organization. A catcher that we have a chance to see quite a bit of this year. And also swings a good bat. And that's part of why he's DHing in a game like today. You're letting Stassi behind the plate. Logan O'Hoppe, our key player profile from New York. Made his debut, played in a couple of games end of last year, but one of the top catching prospects in baseball, and the Angels #1 prospect, 1-1.
The other thing, Trent, is the interesting dynamic that he has going with Matt Thaiss for that backup role. Which of these guys is going to leave spring training and head west and take over that other catching job?
Cut and miss there for O'Hoppe.
Really good bat-to-ball skills. Winds up handling the fastball pretty good. You saw him earlier in spring hit that opposite field home run in the big part of the ballpark. Just, I think he's trying to work on is being able to recognize off speed a little bit better.
Staying alive here. Speaking of prospects, I don't know if necessarily Corbin Carroll counts as that anymore. He at one point was, but ESPN's reporting that Carroll and the Diamondbacks are in agreement on an 8-year, $111 million contract extension. At 22 years old, a mega deal for Carroll. He's not in the lineup in this game, but he's a very important part of what the Arizona Diamondbacks are doing and trying to build. That's breaking news happening just moments ago per ESPN.
Talk about job security. Here you go, young man.
Not bad for a 22-year-old. Here comes the 1-2 on O'Hoppe, who's 23. Sees that one miss low.
That's the pitch I'm talking about right there, Trent. Swung and missed at that pitch earlier in the at-bat twice. Able to recognize it a little bit earlier. Say to yourself, see it up. But I think it's good recognition. Be able to know what you want to hit and stay in the zone.
O'Hoppe sees the 2-2, just missed low. Shouldn't say just missed. It was in the...
And this is how you dictate at-bats right here. You know, the best pitch that he likes to swing at is the fastball. That's the case in a lot of hitters. Back-to-back changeups he lays off of. He's got to be sitting dead red right here, big part of the ballpark.
On the move is Renfroe, hit right to second base, picked up by Munoz, toss over to Walker. And that is a hard luck double play for Logan O'Hoppe. Looked like he was going to be able to hit that one right up the middle. But with Renfroe on the move, Munoz was right there waiting for it, 2 gone.
But I do like the approach. Just getting up there, walking from the on-deck circle into the batter's box, a plan and approach. Winds up getting to his 3-2 pitch. They're not going to throw Logan O'Hoppe. I mean, let's just be honest, right? Hey, let's throw him 3 changeups in a row. Doesn't happen like that. But being able to get his pitch just winds up hitting it just a little bit down.
We have a pitching change, more the first when we come back.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out the General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food back.
Tums. Get ready for the best St. Patrick's Day of your life. Meet old friends and new ones. Feast like family. Toast like royalty. To guys with beards and guys with James beards. Root for your favorite team in your favorite pub. Bake bread for the hell of it. Start a business for the love of it. Singing like no one's watching. Even louder than our bagpipers. Because life rewards the brave and Guinness is for the bold. This St. Patrick's Day is for everyone.
I was crashed into by a careless driver, and attorney Dan Newland got me $510,000.
Involved in a car accident? Call me Saturday or Sunday at 407-888-8000.
Dan, your team was the best. Thank you.
Life is full of ifs. If you see the potential in every day. If you push for that promotion. Or if you say, I do. If you can cash flow like a pro, safeguard against surprises, and supercharge your savings, the if in life becomes less iffy. Regions Life Banking makes it possible. If you're interested.
Let's talk about the if in life. Regions Bank embrace the if in life.
My mom was crashed into in Melbourne, and we called attorney Dan Newland. Dan won her case and got her $750,000.
Thank you, Dan.
Involved in a car accident? Call me Saturday or Sunday at 407-888-8000.
Tyler Ferguson, the new pitcher in the game here in the first inning still. Jake Lamb steps in, goes after the first pitch. Hits it over to Ahmed. And a toss to first, so 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's how the first inning comes to an end. But not before the Angels could put 4 on the board, thanks to Anthony Rendon's 3-run blast. Started with Brett Phillips, hitting this one to get things going. Then Rendon, 2 homers. It's 4-1 Angels.
Name an ingredient you can see in this kind bar to win.
Almonds. I see almonds right there.
Yep, almonds. It's almost like the universe was talking to you.
Oh.
Here's your prize.
Nice.
Ingredients you can see and pronounce.
What's on tap for the Caggianos? Well, this family of Long Island brewers harvests their own ingredients on their own land. Mowing every blade, getting ready to entertain at the only local farm-to-pint experience around. And that's just a Friday. There's a story in every piece of land. Run with us on a John Deere mower and start telling yours.
Wait, hold up. DQ put fries and onion rings in a chicken strip basket? I mean, you got fries and onion rings together. Is this for real? Oh yeah, it just got really real. DQ, happy tastes good.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out the General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
This Czech team, some of these guys have regular 9-to-5 jobs and they're up against MLB All-Stars.
Everybody's got a day job. I'm a teacher on high school and I'm playing center field.
I'm a fireman and I'm a pitcher.
The manager of Czech Republic, he's a neurosurgeon. Like, what?
We're not doing it for money, we're doing it because we love it. We're not pros, but I want the feeling that we are the pros.
The Czech Republic is headed to the World Baseball Classic.
Second inning here at Tempe Diablo Stadium, 4-1 Angels. Jose Suarez, first pitch strike on Diego Castillo. Angels using a couple of home runs in the first inning to get things going. He's Denny Hawking. My name is Trent Rush. Comes the pitch on Castillo, up and away. Was so quick for Zach Davies that last inning. Saw Ferguson come in, throw one pitch, and just like that, the inning was over. Spring training start. I know you're not overly concerned about results, but not being able to get through the first inning, the Angels really were teeing off on Davies early on.
Well, they had some mistakes there in the big part of the zone and wound up taking advantage of it.
This one hit hard to center field. Brett Phillips on the run is going to see that one get all the way to the wall. And going into the stand-up double to lead off this second inning is Diego Castillo. Jairo Munoz, the batter now.
This is where I want to see Suarez just become a little bit better this year. At a 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio last year, but when you get guys with 2 strikes, being able to put them away, that's the second 2-strike hit he's giving up so far. But it's just a matter of maybe using that sweeper, being a little bit more precise with those 2 strikes.
First pitch to Munoz. Denny, obviously, you get 2 strikes on a hitter like Suarez does, and he really was able to improve his strikeout to walk ratio from 21 to 22. But how do you balance not being afraid of pitching the contact and also not wanting to throw a waste pitch there and still be effective with 2 strikes?
Well, I think it was the pitch before he wound up giving the 2-strike double. It was just a non-competitive pitch. And I think he wound up throwing a lot of those last year. You've got to be able to, once you get 2 strikes, throw a competitive pitch. If you just spray one completely out of the zone, it doesn't make the hitter any more nervous.
2-0. Now 2-1. One thing for Suarez, too, is the pace in which he works. A lot of people around Angels camp have said that this pitch timer, should be better for Jose Suarez, and he tends to pitch better when he's pitching at a better pace. 2-2.
Obviously here with a guy on second base, he's trying to get with Perez to be able to give him time to go back to cover some ground, knowing that the batter Munoz is trying to hit the ball to the right side. But that pitch right there, really good timing, under control, be able to find your rhythm.
Munoz called time, reset the clock. Little flare to shallow right field. Walsh is going to see that one bounce in front of him. Castillo's able to scoot over to third. You know, with Jared Walsh in right field, the comfort of being a first baseman and being able to be there in right. Remember when Albert Pujols was playing first base for the Angels?
Yeah.
We first got to know Jared Walsh by playing right field. You just had to find some space for him. So right field, not totally unfamiliar to Walsh. He's used to playing out there and getting a crack at it today, even though we've seen him primarily at first over the last couple of years.
You know, he's a baseball player. He'll be able to just adjust and get back out there. And let's be honest, Trent, I mean, you're having to catch a fly ball, right?
Rendon calls off everybody, including Stassi. Comes in for the fly out. Canzone's retired. So for Suarez, 4 hits allowed and a hit batter already. Did a good job of limiting the damage in the first and now forced to try to do the same here in the second with the top of the order for Arizona back up. There's one disengagement. See Munoz diving back safely. Just missed. 1-0. Yeah, for Walsh in right today, this would give the Angels some flexibility if Renfroe were to ever not be out there or if Ward needed a day. That's why Renfroe is in left. That's part of the thought process here for the Angels manager, Phil Nevin.
You also saw it earlier in camp when he threw Andrew Velasquez out to center field. I think you're trying to find out all the cards that your players are capable of holding.
Yeah, Renfroe is going to be the primary right fielder for the Angels. Walsh will be at first. But if you're ever in a situation where you have to kind of shuffle the deck a little bit, move some guys around over the course of the season, you want to make sure you can do it in spring training, right?
Absolutely. Like, you have to know what they are capable of doing. And you're not looking at this like, okay, we really hope that Jared Walsh plays 40 games out in right field. Like, that's obviously not going to benefit the team this year.
2-1 to Ahmed. Fouled back.
Trent, look at what Suarez has done so far with 2 strikes. I think he's really made one. He had the quality pitch to Smith to end the first. I think he had a quality pitch later on. It was the 2-strike to Munoz. But this is where he really needs to throw his best 2-strike pitch to induce soft contact, get a double play, or to get swing and miss.
2-2 delivery. On the move is Munoz. Throw down to second base is in there safely. And that's one thing about this Arizona Diamondbacks squad. They don't have a whole lot of guys that hit for average. They don't have a whole lot of guys that hit for power. They do have a whole lot of guys that run the bases well.
They remind me a lot of the Cleveland Guardians in that sense. You know, kind of with the bases being a little bit bigger and everything else factored in this year, being able to take advantage of what's at hand.
Also takes away a possible double play chance. So that one gets fouled back out of reach. Stassi just over the netting.
That's a way better 2-strike pitch right there. See if he can repeat it right here and go back to back and be able to get a punch out.
3-2 will do it again. Ahmed puts it on the ground. Rendon picks it up. Toss over to first, but a run is going to score. So the stolen base, again, takes away the double play chance that could have ended the inning instead of an RBI for Ahmed. And now it's a 4-2 ball game.
Becoming a little bit crisper when he has an opportunity to get that 2-strike, to get that out, whether it's a punch out, soft contact, and going back to the opening trend, we talked about Suarez being 40% ground ball rate. Gets it right there. Obviously, the stolen base impacts what could have happened right there.
Carson Kelly goes after the first pitch, hits it to shallow center field. Brett Phillips there in plenty of time, gets underneath it, and there's the final out. Arizona scores a run, but the Angels still have a 4-2 lead. Bottom of the second after this here on Valley Sports.
Catch spring training action Sunday on MLB Network. The Rays and Mets lead off at 1 Eastern. Then it's Brewers, Cubs at 4. And at 7, the Yankees clash with the Red Sox. It's all on MLB Network.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get 0% APR, 0 payments for 90 days, and $500 bonus cash on select vehicles. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
With Dexcom G7, you can achieve diabetes results without finger sticks. See how exercise affects your glucose, making it easier to spend more time in range and lower your A1C. Manage your diabetes with confidence.
A Corona and palm trees.
A Corona and calm seas.
And a balm breeze.
And our strong knees.
It's Andy and Snoop.
And we're eating Guam cheese.
Guam cheese?
Yeah, I don't know. I ran out of rhymes.
Welcome back to the show.
I can't wait to see what you have in store for us today.
And we're done. Fresh, delicious packs of Top Series 1. And the filling is my favorite part.
Red Lobster's finer points of fun dining. At Lobsterfest, whether you're a seafoodie or a lobster newbie, there's something for everyone. Try one of 6 dishes like new lobster and shrimp tacos for $17.99 and leave completely lobsessed. Welcome to fun dining.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out the General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
Zach Davies is back on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Tyler Ferguson came in and threw the final pitch of the first inning after Davies' pitch count for the frame was a bit high, and now he'll be back in there to face Max Stassi.
I love the old re-entry rule.
Yeah, not uncommon in spring training. You see this happen all the time. Stassi goes after the 1-0. Hits it well to center field, and that's going to get over the head of McCarthy. Stassi's going to dig for second. He gets in there standing up. So pretty nice cut right there for Max Stassi. And boy, if the Angels can get his bat back, what a difference.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, having an offensive catcher really lengthens the lineup. And right here, just gets a pitch middle. What I like about it is stay in the big part of the ballpark. Don't try to do too much. And when you find barrel and the wind's blowing out right there, it's a beautiful swing. Even if the wind's blowing in, it's still a beautiful swing.
Kyron Paris is a player the Angels are very excited about. You know, in some ways for Max Stassi, after that double, you see a player like Logan O'Hoppe come into the system, and you have Matt Thias, who's out of options, and you have a lot of catching talent around. Edgar Caro is on his way, MVP of the Cal League from a season ago. Max has had to make a lot of changes to the way he's receiving, working on back picking, doing things differently than maybe what we have seen before. He just didn't hit last year. We've seen that happen to him, and then he's always been able to bounce back. I think it's going to be important for Stassi with the amount of catching depth in the organization. He's going to have to be able to contribute more at the plate.
But what we just saw is what we all anticipate and hope for him to do this year. That's when he's at his best. You can go back a couple years ago, and when he was hitting balls out of the ballpark, not to say he has to do that to have the success, but it was always going over that auxiliary scoreboard in right center.
Paris swings and misses there, 2-2. Denny is a player that has been, you know, probably at one point, the young guy coming up, maybe some other veterans were like, well, this guy's putting some pretty good ABs together. And then on the flip side, being a veteran, seeing younger guys coming through. What do you think Max Stassi is like thinking about as he's going through this spring training, trying to, you know, maintain a high-profile role as the catcher for the Angels?
Well, obviously job security isn't anything that he's thinking about. What he's trying to do is really feel how his legs are going to be as he continue to go through spring training. You log more innings back there behind the plate. It's about how your body feels. And then just get his timing and rhythm down at home plate. And I think hitting down in the order, you're going to have an opportunity to see how the pitcher's attacking you, know what their strengths are for that day, and be able to go and apply that to what you're doing. And case in point, when you look at him getting a pitch in the middle of the plate and finding barrel, it just, at-bats like that will constantly lead to more and more confidence.
Max has really been putting a lot of work in this offseason and in spring training. He was going to go to Team Italy, wanted to stay in camp with the Angels to get better, get right for the start of this season.
And Trent, playing for your country, representing your country is a huge thing, and it's a huge honor. For him to turn that opportunity down, it shows you how important he knows this season is.
3-2 on Kyron Paris. Chopped away.
Kyron's having an incredible at-bat right here. You look at how young he is, A-ball, high A last year, but with the veteran Davies on the mound, he's just been trying to pound him inside. And yeah, as you see, Paris is grinding right here. He knows at the end of this at-bat, he wants to get Stassi to third base for Phillips to come around and flip the lineup.
3-2 on Paris. Got him looking. So a strikeout called. Paris was battling, but the war was won by Davies right there. One gone here in the inning.
He's done such a nice job of really fighting on that inner half, and then the Davies says, all right, I'm a little tired of you grinding on me here. Let me just try to paint you with the two-seamer to catch the corner. But I still like that at-bat right there.
Here's Brett Phillips, who homered his first time up after a really slow start to spring training. Denny, what are you looking for right now in Brett Phillips?
You know, it's interesting, Trent. When I was home, not here doing the games, I was rewinding his at-bats, trying to find out if it was a timing thing, trying to find out if it was a mechanical thing. I had a chance to talk to him, and he said it's just timing. So when you're looking at what he's doing at the plate, and this is kind of just universal for hitting, at this level, with the guys throwing so hard and being so crisp, when the pitcher takes the ball out of his glove and he's got the ball below his waist, as a batter, you're hoping to at least have your foot out of the ground, and more importantly, have it working back down into the ground so you're ready to hit, your eyes stop moving, you get a better look at pitches, and I think that's what he's trying to do here, and he did it in his first at-bat.
Yeah, you could tell for Phillips, really uncomfortable the last couple of days, and I don't know that he was pressing. I don't know if you press in spring training, but he might have been. And that home run to start this game, I mean, in some ways, you just got to feel an immense sense of relief.
And like that pitch right there, out of hand, he understands that's a non-competitive pitch. So he's going to track it the entire way. And having the ability to be able to see the ball better, it's critical. And everybody knows that when you talk hitting.
Saw Marcus Timms on the screen there, big part of the Angels hitting staff. New addition this year as Phillips that time goes down swinging.
Okay, so the result wasn't the result, obviously, of his first at-bat. Here's another at-bat where he's got 2 strikes on him, which he's been that way his entire spring training, and it winds up being an executed pitch, but that's where you have to walk back to the dugout, and he gets fooled on that changeup, and it's well located. But you have to stay positive and say, you know what, if that was a fastball, I was right on it, and I would have found my barrel.
Here's Brandon Drury now. Pitch misses high from Davies.
And the ability, Trent, to be able to constantly have those kinds of conversations in your head when you're not having success are absolutely critical for the confidence value that you can keep with you on a daily basis.
I know spring training is not really result-driven. It's process-driven. But I would like to think by hitting that home run in the first inning, it allows the process to be absorbed maybe a little bit better as he continues to talk with Marcus Timms.
And again, we saw at the end of yesterday's game, Phil never had a chance to go over and have a coaching moment. Same thing right there for Marcus Timms.
5-3 on the chopper. Drury is retired. The Stassi double was it for the Angels. They have a 4-2 lead. Head to the third.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out the General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
My hair started thinning in my early 20s.
I'm genetically predisposed, so we created Nutrafol.
Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement.
It's never too late to improve your hair health.
Get started at Nutrafol.com/man.
There are lots of ways to stream live TV, but only one has a JD Power Award. Now you can watch the live TV you love with the features you need at a price that cable can't beat. Try free at FuboTV.com.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food back.
Tums. I'm not looking for another job. I'm looking for the right culture. Somewhere that has that certain something that isn't listed in the job description, even though it should be.
Childproofing is hard. So we made one thing simple. Duracell lithium coin batteries. They're the only ones with a bitter coating to help discourage swallowing.
When the Murrays discovered Gain scent beads, they fell in love with the irresistible scent. So did their dog Roger. Gain scent beads keep even the stinkiest stuff smelling fresh.
Need to get your windshield fixed? SafeLight makes it easy. You can schedule it in just a few clicks, and we'll come to you with a replacement you can trust.
It's great.
That service on your time. Schedule now.
SafeLight Repair, SafeLight Replace.
4-2 Angels here in the top of the third inning. Don't miss any of the action at the Big A. Join us for every Angels home game in 2023 by securing your season seats today. Visit angels.com/season seats or call 888-796-HALO. Neat moment here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The home run for life. Brian Bowers Retired Chief Master Sergeant, U.S. Air Force, battling stage 4 cancer, taking his lap and circling the bases here. We've seen some home runs in the ball game by the Halos. Now a home run for life. The Cancer Treatment Center of America, where Brian Bowers is trying to get back. And it's great to see that. A really neat moment here. Torey Lavello and Phil Nevin, the two managers, greeted him at home plate. A nice moment. They're reminding us the importance of what baseball is about. While our Arco top-tier plays have been the home runs we've seen in the ball game today. For the Angels, started right out of the gate. Brett Phillips going deep. Hits that one to right field, his first home run of the spring. Then the second for Anthony Rendon as he finds Alon, a 3-run shot in the first. Angels put 4 runs on the board right out of the gate as they have a 4-2 lead here in the top of this 3rd inning. He's Denny Hockey. My name is Trent Rush. Anthony Rendon, boy, it's just good to see him back and healthy. And it seems like Anthony Rendon's enjoying life a little bit more these days, just having that body feeling right.
I think coming into this spring, he knows he missed a bunch of time last year. He knows how important it is to be in this lineup. The best ability is availability. And just being able to make sure that he's right and get the number of at-bats to where he feels very good leaving this Tempe Diablo complex and heading west.
Jake McCarthy will be the batter here in the 3rd inning as Jose Suarez back out there for this 3rd frame. Went just an inning and 2/3 in his first outing last Sunday.
Trent, what a cool moment to have Brian Bowers out there. And I mean, it was special for me. I've really had a chance to come a little bit closer with our armed forces members and what they've done for us and what we have here.
How about Suarez flashing the leather, getting off the mound? Big fella showing off the wheels. Gets the out.
Little PFP right there, something they practice all the time in spring training on the backfields. Be able to get off the mound, big fella. Good communication, but yet fielding your position, it is critical. Working ahead, critical. All of these things. And a really good job by Lamb there. I mean, these guys haven't worked on this a ton as far as to have chemistry, but to be able to have that communication and get a first pitch out always helps. And that's one thing we talked about in the open, Trent. So 11 batters coming into the first 2 innings. He'd only gone first pitch strike to 5 of those. That's not how he's successful.
Christian Walker looks at a first pitch strike.
Case in point, this inning, 2 batters, 2-0-1 counts.
Getting ahead is the name of the game. And when Suarez does that, he is so good. Little jam shot back behind first. Long run from Lamb is going to drop in there. So Christian Walker gets his 2nd hit of the day. Ryan Quayle that had some eyes down that right field line.
For those of you who are used to seeing Christian Walker out here in the Valley of the Sun, you're used to seeing him get on base. 36 homers, but not those bloop varieties. But what a year he had last year, Trent. 36 homers. Not only that, but just on that defensive side, too. Took home the Gold Glove as well.
He's one of the more underrated first basemen in baseball. Evan Longoria back now. First pitch strike again. So 3 for 3 here in this inning for Suarez. Landing the first one. You know, for Suarez, too, working on the body, a little bit better shape. Ground ball gets hit over to Drury at short, flip to Paris, over to Lamb at first, and there you go. Quick inning. Jose Suarez showing off some pretty nice defense and then relying on the Angels middle infield to get the job done. 4-2, Angels on top, home half of the 3rd next.
Experience the elevation of electrification at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
Get ready for the best St. Patrick's Day of your life. Meet old friends and new ones. Feast like family. Toast like royalty. To guys with beards and guys with James beards. Root for your favorite team in your favorite pub. Bake bread for the hell of it. Start a business for the love of it. Singing like no one's watching. Even louder than our bagpipers. Because life rewards the brave and Guinness is for the bold. This St. Patrick's Day is for everyone.
Defeated. You win. I won. I won.
Want the speed to finally defeat your mortal enemy?
Oh, there he is! I won!
Only Spectrum gives you Speed Boost for the fastest wireless speeds in the palm of your hand. Now only $29.99 and your next line is free. Only with Spectrum Mobile.
Asado is Argentinian fine dining with a warm and inviting atmosphere. An Argentinian steakhouse featuring authentic dishes, nightly live entertainment, all in an upscale dining experience. Enjoy Chef Anthony's latest creation at Asado, located on 1450 Sarno Road, in the heart of Melbourne. Asado by the Grand Manor.
Pretty nice day for Jose Suarez. He completes 3, gives up a couple of runs, but as he settled in, Denny Hawking, Suarez really good in that last time out. 3rd inning, just 5 pitches.
I mean, it's not rocket science, right? We talked about it in the open. 5-pitch inning right there. And out of the 3 guys that he did face, ahead 0-1 in all 3 of them. And I will just absolutely beat it till it's just everybody's sick and tired of hearing it. You pitch like that, you pitch effectively. Now what happens is you get this vaunted spring training lineup that Phil Nevin's thrown out there today. Back in the batter's box to try to increase this 4-2 lead.
Comes the 2-0 on Jared Walsh. There's a hit already today, 1-2. You know what my takeaway from Suarez is going to be today? That little flip coming off the mound, picking that ball up. Try to drop a bunt on him. McCarthy. And Jose Suarez says, no, I can field my position.
You know, I look at the agility of him on that play, but I wonder how much he's looking right now in Angels camp or at the WBC and maybe just being a little bit disappointed that he was not on that Venezuelan WBC roster.
3-1 fouled back. Kelly underneath it. Quick first out. They're in the 3rd inning.
It's that veteran Davies right there. Hitter's count, winds up pulling the string on Walsh, knowing that he got a hit the opposite way on that fastball in the 1st inning, being able to be a little bit crafty out there. That's who Kyle Davies is, you know?
Anthony Rendon back in the batter's box for the Angels. Hit that 3-run blast in the 1st inning. First pitch from Zach Davies, just off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes.
When was the last time Anthony Rendon swung at that first pitch? He may have the lowest first pitch swing percentage in all of big leagues.
I mean, it's got to be him or his teammate Mike Trout, right? I know Trout will swing first pitch from time to time when he knows when he knows that they're just going to groove him one. That's usually when he hits one really deep, and then we don't see it again.
Right? You just sit there and set him up.
Sometimes it's like a 6-week setup.
Just throw it in here. There's nothing to see here.
2-1 to Rendon.
Tracked that ball like he knew it was coming, sitting on it.
This is a batter that knows how to control the strike zone.
Yes, indeed.
He's got his count. 3-1 here from Davies. Got his pitch, ripped it for a base hit. Beautiful at bat right there for Anthony Rendon. Is on board for the 2nd time here in the ball game. 2 times up, 2 hits for Rendon, including that 3-run homer.
When I look at the difference in 3-1 pitches to Jared Walsh and Anthony Rendon, Davies knows how simple Rendon is. He's going to stay in the big part of the field. If he winds up making a mistake with an off-speed pitch there, he may not get it back just like he did in the 1st inning. That's where you just go, all right, I'm just going to challenge him, try to keep this ball in the ballpark. Great job by Rendon, obviously, once again.
Here's Hunter Renfroe now. As we have seen Phil Nevin lineups throughout spring training, One thing that we have seen pretty much any time Rendon and Renfroe have been on the lineup at the same time, it's Rendon hitting fourth, Renfroe hitting fifth. And that back-to-back has been a mainstay in spring training as Renfroe shows his power, rips this one down the left field line. Rendon will coast into third base. And that's going to be a one-out double for Renfroe. So Rendon and Renfroe back-to-back hits, now two in scoring position with one on.
And this ball is just struck rather well. Obviously going to see his power there. But you just like to see the next guy find barrel and the next guy get into a good count and the next guy pass the baton. This is what Angels fans are hoping that they're going to have an opportunity to see a lot this season.
That was a laser beam off the bat of Renfroe as O'Hoppe steps up now.
I mean, it didn't sound like it did like it did the bat of Trey Cabbage the other day, but still, obviously very effective.
It's nice having a lot of power options in this lineup. 1-0. Renfroe has a chance to be one of the more underrated signings of the entire winter. Not just for the Angels, but just across baseball. I think that Renfroe's impact, protection for Rendon, that cannon of an arm in right field, so Hoppe sees that one miss. 3-0.
Baseball player, does a lot of things, checks a lot of boxes that we're actually able to see between the lines, but he checks boxes as well off the field. You know, and having a consistency with Phil Nevin throwing him right behind Rendon, you just settle in.
Hoppe, look, he was taking 3-0.
All right, going back to looking at Logan O'Hoppe, younger hitter, veteran guy on the mound. Does he sit something soft, sit something up right here to hit it past or above the drawn-in infield?
3-1. Hits this one high. That one's going to go foul, left side. It will just drop in there, so Castillo couldn't quite get to it. And now a word from Jack in the Box.
Oreo cookies, cool mint, what's not to like? I guess that it's only here for a limited time.
Logan O'Hoppe, 3-2 count, 2 on, 1 away. And it looks like he's going to have to switch his bat, maybe a little wood fracture on that foul ball. Jam shot, he gets a fresh piece of lumber.
All right, we haven't seen this. Obviously, the pitch timer's off right now, and I heard somewhere along the way it becomes umpire's discretion.
That's the thing. It's not a hard set clock. The timer is there, but at the end of the day, the umpire makes the ruling. So if an equipment change has to happen, it's up to the umpire to determine if the hitter will have time to do that. This is a flare over to the right side. That's going to bring in at least one, and turning for home will be Renfroe. Logan O'Hoppe with a 2-run double extends the Angels' lead. It's now 6-2 here in the third.
Oh, you love to see this right here. Winds up getting a changeup in that 3-1 count just a little bit early. And I think Kyle Davies is sitting there going, all right, maybe I could throw a heater by you right here. But I think Logan O'Hoppe's sitting there waiting for that changeup and winds up getting a really nice 2-strike, 2 RBI double right there.
Clutch hit for O'Hoppe. Angels have a 4-run lead. More from the third when we return.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? We should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, and unexpectedly, light beer.
Introducing a revolutionary automatic drip coffee machine. Brewed fresh, hot or iced. True Brew by DeLonghi. Coffee from bean to cup.
Get $1,500 purchase allowance on a 2023 Cadillac XT5 and XT6. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
Whenever heartburn strikes, Get fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food back.
Meet apartment 2A, 2B, and 2C. 2A is monitoring his money with a simple text. Like what you see, Abe?
Yes.
2B's covered with 0 overdraft fees when he overdraws his account by $50 or less. And 2C? Well, she's not going to let a lost card get her stressed. Am I right?
That's right.
That's because these neighbors all have Chase. Alerts that help check, tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Chase, make more of what's yours.
It's a glorious time for baseball. The champs are back, along with the award winners, the record breakers, and the rest. They're all ready to play, while fans are ready to cheer. Yes, it's a glorious time for baseball.
Right-hander Carlos Vargas, the new pitcher in the game for Arizona, as Jake Lamb digs in against the team he came up with. Grounded out to end the first inning. Here he is. Logan O'Hoppe standing at second base with 1 out in the third. First pitch from Vargas is high. By the Angel bats rolling here to start this game. 6 runs on 8 hits. So they pounded Zach Davies today. 1-0 on Lamb. On top of it, 1-1.
How about Lamb today hitting in the 7th spot? Second time up right now. It's the bottom of the third. He hasn't even seen the starter.
Yeah, that's true. When we saw a replacement come in. Ground ball right side. Walker able to take it over to first base himself. O'Hoppe scoots over to third. So 2 gone here in the inning. Max Stassi comes up.
Trent, you just look at what we had talked about in the open today. This third inning is really a microcosm of what we talked about. Suarez, pitch ahead, 5 pitch innings, pitch to soft contact, ground ball outs. Angel hitters, they've got more thump this year. I think this is really what the blueprint that Phil Nevin and Perry Manassian kind of went through this offseason to put this whole project together.
Vargas good in the minor leagues with the Guardians organization a year ago. 1-1 to Stassi. Puts it on the ground, hits it over to Ahmed. He was deep at shortstop, makes a long throw, able to retire Stassi, but O'Hoppe's 2-run double extends the Angels' lead at 6-2 as we go to the 4th here at Tempe Diablo.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out that General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
Name an ingredient you can see in this kind bar to win.
Almonds. I see almonds right there.
Yep, almonds. It's almost like the universe was talking to you.
Oh.
Here's your prize.
Nice.
Ingredients you can see and pronounce.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. Like the Caggianos, who are brewing their own legacy. Or the Wrens, with their drama-free plot. Tranquil and serene. The Upshaws, they DIY all the time. While the Nelsons play lead in their own adventure, 150 years in the making. There's a story in every piece of land. Run with us and start telling yours.
Dermatologists are the ultimate skin experts. So Dove Men invited them to test the new Advanced Care Body Wash range.
I'm really curious to see how the shea butter component in a cleanser is going to work.
For the shower that contains an active ingredient for acne, this is really quite unique.
With Triple Action Moisturizer, Dove Men Advanced Care starts treating skin issues right in the shower.
It's a very great way to control your breakouts.
For my clients with dry skin, I would absolutely recommend this product.
New Dove Men Advanced Care Body Washes.
T-Mobile has the new Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus for free and price lock guarantee. Do you?
Well...
T-Mobile will never raise my rates for talk, text, and data. Will you?
Well, yes. T-Mobile has price lock guarantee and a free Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus.
Switch to T-Mobile and get a free Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus with no trade-in required.
Very comfortable Saturday afternoon here in Arizona. Angels enjoying a 6-2 lead over the Diamondbacks at the moment. I'm Trent Rush. With me is Denny Hawking. Also in town, the World Baseball Classic going on just across I-10. Chase Field. Aaron Loop found out overnight is going to be joining Team USA. The Americans take on Great Britain, 6 o'clock Pacific tonight. Shohei Ohtani, just another day, an RBI demo. I'm pretty sure that double came against the pitcher that is primarily an electrician, but Japan was able to cruise 10-2 over the Czech Republic. Aaron Whitefield sure had a nice day in Australia's victory over China, and then the Fletcher brothers playing together with Team Italy. David Fletcher trying to get his back going for the Italians, but Dominic, 13th ranked prospect in the D-backs organization, made one spectacular catch in right field a little bit early today. Austin Warren's a new pitcher into the game for the Angels here, as Pavin Smith's going to lead things off for Arizona. The top of the 4th inning, check swing there, appeal to third base. He went, strike one. But the World Baseball Classic, seeing so many Angels be involved, and for Aaron Loop, pretty special that he gets the last-minute call to join Team USA.
What a huge thrill for him, being reunited with current teammate Mike Trout. He's going to have an understanding what it feels like to wear that uniform. But congratulations to him. Congratulations to all those guys. I was actually up at 3 a.m. this morning, Trent, watching that game. And what a difference in contrast. Oh, my goodness. So
you are dedicated.
The Japanese starter.
Yeah.
15 pitches in the first inning, 9 pitches, triple digits. Case in point, the Czech Republic pitcher touched 82 in the first and punched out 2. Different ways to go about things. It's the beauty of this game.
Austin Warren uses the back door for strike 2, 2-2. That's amazing. We did learn a little bit about Shohei Ohtani's plan as Warren gets a strikeout of Pavin Smith. Comes right into the game and gets a K immediately. Shohei Ohtani, who pitched in the opener. So we get another look at this. We'll get to that in a moment.
So what I like about his arsenal, his ability to be able to take that two-seamer up above the hands, make it, have that spin rate. Gooby talks about it a lot, that spin rate up in the zone. Guys can't catch up to it for the first punch out of his outing today.
Diego Castillo takes a look at a first pitch strike from Warren. So Ohtani pitched in the opener for Team Japan against China. He's going to pitch again in the quarterfinals. What that really means is that he's not going to pitch in the semis or finals should Japan get there. And he will make one more Cactus League start on Friday the 23rd here at Tempe Diablo to get ready for opening day, March the 30th, coming up in Oakland. So that's the track that Shohei Ohtani is on. Ground ball foul, so he'll make 2 starts with Japan and then come back and make one more Cactus League start to get ready for the beginning of the season.
And he is going to be electric when he takes the mound against Oakland on opening night. He's electric regardless, but opening night?
I mean, he was already at 100 in that first game with Team Japan in the World Baseball Classic. Clearly, he is ready to go. And I think it's going to be exciting with Team USA in town. I mean, obviously a great crowd here at Tempe Diablo on this Saturday. Sold out capacity crowd. There is not an inch of grass available on the lawn with all the Angel fans out there, as this one on Diego Castillo is high, 3-2. But a lot of baseball fans in town for the World Baseball Classic. Maybe some fans thinking, all right, we can catch an Angels game in the afternoon and go see Mike Trout and Aaron Loop with Team USA tonight. 3-2 on Castillo. This one is lifted well to left center field. On the run is Renfroe. He's not going to be able to get to it. Bangs off the wall and a stand-up double with one out for Diego Castillo.
Love it. Pound the zone, though. Got to pound the zone here. And this is where, when these guys come out of the bullpen here in spring training, you're really coming in to get your inning of work, get a feel for maybe something that you worked on in a bullpen session, get a little bit more feel for my sliders, things of that nature. But being able to constantly pound the zone, just a little bit too much of the plate right there. But I always look at opportunity, right? Now he's got an opportunity to be able to work with a guy on second base, make pitches, strand this runner, get out with a clean inning.
Jairo Munoz, the batter. Runner in scoring position now, one out. from Austin Warren. Hey, that inning of work can go a long way. Just ask Aaron Loop, who tossed a clean inning against Team USA earlier this week.
Lasting impression, right?
And next thing you know, he's facing those guys, retiring everybody. 10 minutes later, he ends up on the team.
Mark DeRosa's like, who's this guy? I talked about this guy on the network. Let's get him in here.
DeRosa, Aaron Loop, teammates at one point earlier in their careers. Can't help but think that maybe there was a Mike Trout influence on that. Captain America trying to say, you know what? We could do it. Brooks Raley goes down. We need a left-hander. Let's go call our boy Aaron Loop. Swing and miss there for Munoz.
Really good sequence. Tried to get in on his hands the pitch before. Wasn't successful, but I think it makes Munoz a little bit leery of that, knowing he can come back in there, expand the zone down and away. And let's just look at Warren here. Third best mustache I've seen today.
Little blooper back behind first, and getting over to will be Paris on the run for the second out. Angels excited about that young man, Kyron Paris. At one point was a very high-rated prospect in the Angels system. He's on some of the national publications has fallen a little bit on the rankings, but internally I know that the Angels are very high on what Paris brings.
Yeah, they're very high, and you can tell because he's constantly in games. He's constantly sticking around, and the Angels want a constant look at what he's capable of doing. There's a lot of coaching that goes on in the backfield.
And a pickoff back to second base. Couldn't quite get Castillo despite the pretty big lead.
Lovett Drury stand on the left side of the infield today, keeping the base runner a little bit more alert. Shorten him up so an outfielder has a chance to throw a guy out at the plate potentially.
Drury's going to have to play all over. That's something Phil Nevin said. Nevin wants him comfortable at all four infield positions, and using spring training for Drury to do just that. A silver slugger as a utility man a year ago. Canzone went around. That's a strike. Drury, another big-time pickup for the Angels this offseason.
Another guy that's got postseason experience.
1-1 is hit well to center field. Phillips on the run and is able to snag it before it gets to the wall. Still going to bring in a run. The relay throw cut off. And an RBI hit for Dominic Canzone. Cuts the lead to 6-3. Angels over the D-backs.
Just doesn't get it into where he wants to get to it. Barrow, this ball's got to be knuckling out there. I thought Phillips had a good jump on it. As that ball just continues to go away from him. Sometimes you try to read outfielders' reactions. He looked a little bit uncomfortable there. So to me, it tells me something's going on with the ball. Maybe he just didn't see it right there at the end. But really good job to save 90 feet, probably.
First pitch on Ahmed is low. You mentioned postseason experience for Drury. Why is that so important?
Because you're not scared of the moment. And I think once you get to the moment, but I think leading up to the postseason, you understand what it's going to take. Every game's important. Obviously, I don't think I'm preaching anything that anybody doesn't know, but how do you go about your business? When you get to the postseason, it's when you can reflect on that and talk to other guys that haven't been there. You know, guys can look at Anthony Rendon and say, you're a world champion. What was that season like? Did you ever go through a lull, tired legs, tired arms? What did you do? What was your treatment process? Things of that nature are critical to have information. And the more guys that have that information and be able to pass it along, the more comfortable they're going to be in those situations moving forward.
2-1 on Ahmed. You just have to think, I mean, this Angels organization is itching to get back to the postseason. You bring in guys that have been a part of the playoffs. That clearly a priority for the Angels this winter.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how they configure this 26-man roster when spring training is over. There are so many options, and the player pool is better. So there are some tough decisions that the staff, not only the big league staff, but the front office, things of that nature. Then you look at the availability more with guys like Jared Walsh this year, Anthony Rendon this year. You know, they're good options to have.
Ahmed putting a pretty good at-bat together here, battling here with Austin Warren. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner at second base is Canzone.
Obviously, when you look back on a season, Trent, you don't want to sit there and go, hey, 57 guys contributed to our success this year. But it certainly isn't going to be 26. So what number is it going to be at for them to have the success that everybody's hoping for this season?
Ahmed staying alive, that was one thing about the Angels a year ago. There's only one team in baseball that had more players get ABs that were either replacement level or worse than the Angels. Depth was an issue. Perry Manassian made it clear that the Angels had a depth problem in 2022. That is not the problem in 2023. Phil Nevin has a ton of choices. 3-2. Ahmed rips this one to left field. Renfroe comes up for it. There's that cannon. It gets cut off, and a run's going to score. So back-to-back RBI hits for Arizona. First Canzone, now Ahmed. Now it's a 6-4 ball game.
As Arizona tries to creep back in here with 2 runs off Austin Warren here in the top of the 4th. Just comes down to execution. We talked about it in Suarez's first 2 innings. Not being too crisp once he gets 2 strikes. I was actually really excited to see Hunter Renfroe come up and show it off right there.
That might be the best throw, or that might be the biggest arm we see in left field all season.
Yeah.
With Renfroe, who has led all of baseball in outfield assists. You look at the last 3 years, nobody's had more than Hunter Renfroe.
And that's what's so interesting, Trent. A guy with the reputation of having a strong arm. Usually teams don't run on that. In the pre-series meeting, it's, hey, be careful when the ball goes out to this guy. But that's certainly not the case when teams face Hunter Renfroe squads.
Carson Kelly's 1 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike here. Phil Nevin even talks about that back from his days of being a third base coach. And that's part of why he wanted Renfroe, because he admitted, hey, I've made some poor decisions on that guy in right field, and he's burned me before.
And as a third base coach, it's what are your priorities? Is it arm strength? Is it how he aggressively comes and gets the ball? Or is it accuracy? And when you look at those 3 things that third base coaches throughout Major League Baseball and just baseball in general have to kind of prioritize, he checks all those boxes.
2 balls and a strike on Carson Kelly. Primary catcher for the Diamondbacks this season. Two and 2. Arizona with 3 hits in the inning already. Started with a Diego Castillo double with 1 out. 2 batters later, the Canzone RBI double. And Nick Ahmed just brought in another with his base hit. 2-2, 2 outs. Warren to Kelly. In the dirt and away.
I think that's been the biggest pitch right there. Watching Austin Warren pitch in the top half of the 4th inning. He just hasn't been able to, after the first inning when he struck out Smith on a fastball up, he hasn't been able to finish guys off.
Warren's 3-2. Fly ball center field. Phillips on the run, coming in for it. Shallow center gets there. But a couple of runs score for Arizona here in the 4th. It's 6-4 Angels. Home half coming up after this.
This small thing is the next big thing in diabetes. It shows your glucose and predicts where it's headed, just like that. It's not magic, it just feels that way. Dexcom, powerful, simple diabetes management.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food back.
Tums. Wait, hold up. DQ put fries and onion rings in a chicken strip basket? I mean, you got fries and onion rings together. Is this for real? Oh yeah, it just got really real. DQ, happy taste.
Age comes with wisdom, and wisdom comes with benefits.
You're gonna want that off. Found you.
Like being one of the millions who can sign up for Medicare outside the annual enrollment period. For example, if you're moving or retiring and more.
I'd go another 90 seconds.
So make the wise call to see if you're eligible for a Cigna Medicare Advantage plan today at 1-855-809-6101.
What's your answer?
Absolute zero.
Cigna Medicare Advantage plans offer $0 primary and specialist doctor visits, savings on your Part B premium, and dental coverage with a dentist of your choice. Plus hearing, vision, and an over-the-counter allowance all in one plan.
Nana's got you.
So call 1-855-809-6101. That number again is 1-855-809-6101 to see if you're eligible today.
Just a great day for baseball and a capacity crowd here at Tempe Diablo Stadium to take it in. Some Angels baseball here at Tempe Diablo as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. My name is Trent Rush. With me, the 13-year big league veteran Denny Hawking. Also managed the under-18 Team USA squad to gold glory this past year. As Kyron Paris gets set to lead off this fourth inning for the Angels, who on top 6-4 at the moment. Vargas still in there. First pitch, swinging strike on Paris, who struck out looking back in the second. Two gone now on Paris.
Going back to the strikeout in the first inning, was a really good at bat. Very extended at bat. I think it was like 9-10 pitches, but just protecting, wind up just punching out, didn't move the runner from second to third, but those are bats that are going to allow him to grow in those situations.
Jam shot foul.
Looks like he's going to be in that same situation right here, just defensive mode, hope for a mistake.
Paris, an exciting talent for the Angels in a crowded infield, top to bottom. 0-2. There's going to be enough questions to try to sort out what the big league infield's going to look like. Then you try to sort out what AAA looks like, and then what AA looks like, and you're thinking all of a sudden with all this infield depth, the Angels could have a pretty darn good middle infield in single A too. Paris chopper over to Longoria, the veteran, and it's beat out. Paris gets right underneath it. He is safe. And Kyron Paris avoids the Walker tag, and he's aboard.
Love to watch him get down the line. Things like this don't happen unless it's being preached and also being an example by your best guy, Captain America. Beats this ball into the ground, but the effort down the line and then the awareness to understand that Christian Walker was not on the base to be able to get through the base right there.
So an error on Evan Longoria, the 37-year-old offseason pickup for Arizona. Paris is on. Good job by Paris. And you're right, not just the speed, but the wherewithal to avoid that tag. There's Brett Phillips, who homered to start the ball game. And now a place where he has been all too often this spring, behind 0-2.
So, Trent, we can go on and on about timing, rhythm, things of that nature, but when I'm talking to young hitters, I really try to have them understand that your foot hitting the ground is a clap, and then the barrel hitting the ball is a clap also. So what, you know, and it's hard to do here, obviously, but clap, clap. Just think of like just a simple clap like you're clapping for somebody, you know? But the closer that those two noises are, the more your head's moving, the more you're not taking in information. I think that's where Brett Phillips gets into problems. But he's identified that issue. He's working on it. Obviously, it's way easier to do when you're ahead in the count. His first at-bat, homer. Last at-bat and this at-bat with 2 strikes. Now he's got to grind.
Here's the 1-2 on Phillips. Missed it there, so a couple of swinging strikeouts to go with that home run for Phillips today. It's now 14 on the spring.
And when you were late, you were not controlling the zone. Being able to swing at pitcher's pitches, just like he does right there, just like he did in his second at bat. But I know that he's going to be capable of leaving this game today at some point and being able to reflect on the first swing that he had and then go look at that and then match him up to the differences to what he's done so far this spring and then what he has done after that home run and being able to get more information and correct it moving forward.
Part of the infield depth equation is Drury, who's batting now. But for Phillips, it's that balance, right, of, well, I know I'm working through stuff. It's spring training. I'm trying to get ready. But also probably feeling like you want to be able to put up some kind of numbers when you're on a team for the first time with the Angels.
You at least want guys to sit there and look at you and be like, hey, he's going to help us. Absolutely.
Only option for Vargas was at first, so Paris able to get to second base, and now a word from Kia. Paris at second base with 2 outs for Jared Walsh. Third time up today. Had a hit back in the first inning. Looks at the first pitch in there from Vargas for a strike.
So, Trent, when you're an everyday guy, well, you know, obviously Trout, Rendon, Shohei, everybody that's an everyday guy in the big leagues, you can afford to struggle with your timing a little bit because you're constantly getting those reps. When you're a guy like Brett Phillips, who is the 4th outfielder, and you play every 3rd day, every 4th day, you know, and you get into the lineup and you're not game speed, that's where the timing aspect really shows up.
0-2 to Walsh. Got him looking. 3-pitch strikeout. So 2 punch outs in the inning for Vargas. Angels leave a runner in scoring position. They're still up 2. It's 6-4, heads to 5th here on Bally Sports.
Catch spring training action Sunday on MLB Network. The Rays and Mets lead off at 1 Eastern. Then it's Brewers, Cubs at 4. And at 7, the Yankees clash with the Red Sox. It's all on MLB Network.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out the General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
Experience the exhilaration of the performance line at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
You've been endlessly searching for a new job, but it means you're missing out on everything else.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Create a free Indeed account and get back to the fun while employers search for you.
A Corona and palm trees.
A Corona and calm seas.
And a balm breeze.
And our strong knees.
It's Andy and Snoop.
And we're eating Guam cheese.
Guam cheese?
Yeah, I don't know. I ran out of rhymes.
When you have auto glass damage, trust Safelite. We'll replace your windshield and recalibrate your advanced safety system so automatic emergency braking and lane departure warning work properly.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
The future is here. We've been creating it for more than 100 years, putting the most advanced technology into people's hands, generation after generation, tool after tool, again and again, bringing you the broadest and most reliable network of service dealers, always moving forward. We lead, others follow.
Jonathan Holder, the new pitcher, into the game for the Angels. Here at the top of this 5th inning, where the Angels have a 6-4 lead. With a cloudy day here at Tempe Diablo. Very comfortable conditions, though, for a large group of fans hanging out here. First pitch, ground ball back up the middle. Drury able to take it on a slow roll. Toss over to first base. Lamb is there for the first out. So the Speedy McCarthy is retired. Bringing up Christian Walker.
First, Trent, there's no place I'd rather be here than right here. Chance to take in a double dip. Obviously, the Halos and the Diamondbacks here at Tempe Diablo. But then maybe just get a chance to go downtown and sit in a nice little establishment and watch Team USA take on the United Kingdom.
Christian Walker looks at a first pitch strike. You know, don't you kind of get the sense that right now here in the Cactus League, it's kind of the center of the baseball world is kind of happening?
No doubt.
Some people will probably accuse me of an imperialistic view of the world, thinking that Team USA is the only one here. Yes, we know. We're very aware of all the other great teams playing across. But it does feel like there is something special happening here in the Phoenix area this week. Cactus League Baseball, Team USA is here. Stars are participating in the World Baseball Classic that we just haven't seen maybe since the first WBC, as Walker fights to keep this one alive.
Holder doing a really good job of staying below the zone right here. So far here in the top of the fifth.
Here comes the 0-2 to Walker as Holder just takes a moment. Make sure the fans get the baseball. Here it comes from Holder. Good decision to lay off by Christian Walker there. Holder, of course, was known from his time with the Yankees. That great season in 2018. He's coming off a couple of injuries and fight for another job in baseball. Hard ground ball over to Rendon. Flip over to first base. And 2 gone here in the 5th.
2 up, 2 down, 2 ground balls to the left side. Love to see it.
Holder, a veteran reliever, similar position maybe that Chris Davinsky is in. Guys competing maybe for that last spot in the bullpen for the Angels.
And not talking about guys with high leverage trying to get outs, but bridge guys. How often do you pitch? You pitch in blowout games, both sides of the blowouts, but still quality innings to where you can help your club.
It's the 0-1 on Evan Longoria. 1 ball, 1 strike. Interesting kind of role for Longoria this year. 37 years old. Joins the Diamondbacks on a 1-year deal. I know he's not a Hall of Famer. Maybe not all that different from when Paul Molitor was playing with the Twins. Early part of your career in Minnesota. Okay, what kind of a presence can Longoria have? What kind of a presence did Molitor have?
With an organization that's trying to get it right, trying to develop their young players at the big league level, I think you bring stability, really, and, you know, a constant professional in Evan Longoria. He's been to the World Series with Tampa Bay. He's won Rookie of the Year. He understands what it's like to go through a 162-game season. And with not a lot of expectations, let's be honest, with the Arizona Diamondbacks this year, I think it gives them an opportunity to have another coach on the field and to just get them moving in the right direction. Maybe this is also a move where they say, let's bring him in, see how he operates, and maybe add him to the staff or special assistant to the GM moving forward.
2-2 to Longoria. And there is strike 3. So a couple of ground outs and a strikeout for Holder in the 5th. Phil Nevin joins us from the Angels dugout when we come back, with the Angels leading 6-4.
Childproofing is hard. So we made one thing simple. Duracell lithium coin batteries. They're the only ones with a bitter coating to help discourage swallowing.
The majority of my patients with sensitivity, I see irritated gums and weak enamel. Sensodyne sensitivity gum and enamel relieves sensitivity, helps restore gum health, and rehardens enamel. I'm a big advocate of recommending things that I know work.
This mango hint water tastes just like mango. How can water taste just like fruit? How can our feet look just like our hands? How can our feet look just like our hands?
For a limited time, new customers get 45% off on our top flavors at drinkhint.com, including our new exclusive online flavor, coconut. Just $1 per bottle. And if you order now, we'll ship it right to your door for free.
Did he just say there's coconut hint?
Hint. Water with a touch of true fruit flavor.
It's time to bring balance to business travel and discover the equilibrium that works for you. At National, you're in control. skip the counter, choose any car in the aisle, and manage your rental right from the app. So you can mix work with leisure, or leisure with work, giving you the control to find the perfect balance. Go national. Go like a pro.
Meet a future mom, a first-time mom, and a seasoned pro. This mom's one step closer to their new minivan. Yeah, you'll get used to it. This mom's depositing money with tools on hand. Cha-ching. And this mom, well, she's setting an appointment here so her son can get set up there and start his own financial journey. That's because these moms all have Chase. Smart bankers, convenient tools. One bank with the power of both. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
6-4 Angels leading the Diamondbacks here in the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm Trent Rush, with me Denny Hawking, and joining us from the Angels dugout, Phil Nevin, the Angels manager, with us right now. Phil, first of all, really appreciate the time today. And as Rendon and Renfroe get set to lead off this inning, we've been talking all afternoon about the power in this lineup. How much fun is it to be able to write down those names back to back in your order in those 4 or 5 spots here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big difference from where we've been, I think. But with Anthony here, I mean, his hands are just going through the zone like they used to 2 years ago. The home run he hit earlier in the spring, you know, yeah, we got excited about it, but the home run he just hit earlier today was not a ball that he was been able to get to in the past, just with his hands and the way he can hang his hands back. And if you saw, he kind of went down and got that pitch, and really nice to see. He even came in and said the same thing. He's like, man, I haven't been able to do that in a long time. So that was cool to hear. And there's another one.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. There's another hit for Anthony Rendon today, 3 for 3, plus the 3-run homer. So not too bad to have that guy delivering for you once again. You have some protection for him, too, with Renfroe coming up. But as far as Anthony Rendon is concerned, it seems like he's also embraced a leadership role in this Angels clubhouse as well.
Yeah, I think that last year when he got hurt and was down for a while, you really saw him embrace that part of it. You know, veteran guys that know they're probably done for the season. I mean, he very well could have gone home and enjoyed his family, but he stayed with us. He knew it was important to be around these guys, and we had a lot of young players kind of making their way through the game. And, you know, it was daily where you saw him conversations with the players. He sat in the dugout during games. He was a big part of, you know, what our clubhouse culture became those last 2 months of the season last year, and it's just kind of carried over into this year. He's a big part of that.
Well, when you look at his expressions, he looks like he's having a lot more fun this year. It's great to see him after an at-bat, or even after, while he's standing out there on defense, to be able to smile again.
You know what, Danny? That's the first thing I've really noticed with, and I've only known him from across the field or coaching third. You know, when he's been out at third, and we've had some great conversations over the years. And but yes, I notice him really enjoying what he's doing.
A hard hit foul ball there for Renfroe.
You really notice him having a lot of fun, and I think a lot of that has to do with his health. The hip injury he had is one of those that usually takes the full year, and then it's going to take a while to kind of get that going the whole next year, which he had last year. And then the wrist, I think it was something that was really holding him back for a while, but he comes in and he's completely healthy, looks really good at third base too, the way he's moving around. Excited for him.
Phil, I want to go talk about August and September with this Angels club a year ago. After really the entire way the 2022 season played out, you guys played over 500 with the limited rosters. That one's going to get through for another hit for Hunter Renfroe. So 2 on for the Angels here with nobody out. But considering just kind of the bit of a roller coaster 2022 season, for you guys to be able to find that stability, for you as a manager, how rewarding was it to be able to maybe start to implement some things you were wanting to do and be able to see that kind of success when you guys, quite frankly, were so short-handed down the stretch?
Yeah, we were. But it was really a credit to our pitching staff, which we built on both strengths in our starters and our relievers. But really the way they threw the ball those last 2 months, our young left-handers that really came into their own, got a lot of great big league experience. You saw Jose pitch today, Detmers, Sandy. and really feeding off of what Shohei does at the top. But adding Tyler Anderson to that mix, they're going to make all these. He's so good with I call them young players. They're young, yes, but they've obviously had some time in the big leagues. But he's making all those guys better around him. You know, it's just always a learning process as you're coming up through this game, and he's really good with the young players. But having all these guys around all the time, healthy for one, is pretty awesome for us. It really is. What just happened here at first?
Some pretty good wheels there for your catcher to beat out what would have been a double play ball. Ohapi continues to impress, by the way, Phil.
Yeah, he can move. There's a lot of things that are very impressive with him. The first thing we noticed last year when he walked in the clubhouse was instant leadership, and for a 22-year-old kid, for a 22-year-old kid to walk into a clubhouse and put it in his hands, go right to the pitchers, want to learn everything about those guys and get better. Pretty amazing. But then watch him on an everyday basis go about his business, do his work behind the plate, what he's done offensively. We have an off day Wednesday, but Tyler Anderson's going to throw 4. He has said, I want to go catch those 4 innings and get used to working with Tyler. He's a really impressive kid.
Little flare is caught there at third. Hager.
Phil, I wanted to ask you, can you take us behind the lens of what it's like as a manager when you've got so many young guys that have impressed, you know, with Paris, and then you got Ohapi, obviously. Is there something that you come to the ballpark every single day with a goal in mind and to see how they obtain information and translate it? Or is it something you sit back and then evaluate after the game?
You know, I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, if I see something, I'm obviously going to say something, but I mean, we got a great group of leaders on our club, for one. I got a great group of catching coaches that work with these guys, the young catchers as well. But I think it's just, I think it's just an everyday basis on what you see. But I love the interaction with these guys. Get up, ball.
Stassi fly ball left field. Will it be playable? Off the wall. 1 run will score. Hustling in is Ohapi. And 2 come across, so a 2-run double. Max Stassi's second double of the day extends the Angel lead to 8-4. There you go. We got some Phil Nevin Karma working for us here for the Halos.
Oh, well, good to see with Max there. He's worked a heck of a lot on what his swing path, getting to where his swing path was a couple years ago. Really grinding the cage with Marcus and Phil. We're starting to see some. We held him out of games throughout the first week because he was making a few changes behind the plate with his catching. If you've noticed, he's been on the knee without any runners on base. And then here with his hitting. So we kind of slow played it getting into a game with him, and I think it's paying off for him. I mean, I think that you're seeing some things offensively. His hips are freed up a little more, and he's gotten into some balls here today for sure. He looks good.
And I think that's the cool thing. He's a veteran guy, so you don't even walk into spring training going, oh, we've got to get you 50 ABs. It really goes into, we just got to get you right.
Correct. And he's been, health is great for him, for one. And you kind of worry about that a little bit. He's had some hip stuff, and when you're changing the catching stance around, you kind of wonder if that's going to make an impact on anything. But he's been great. He's been healthy through it, no issues, and getting him now into the game flow. These catchers will start going back-to-back days, and they'll start catching a little bit more. So good to see.
Mickey Moniak pitch hitting for Brett Phillips here. That was Kyron Paris that just drove in a run for the Angels that now have a 9-4 lead as Gilbert gets set to work. And Moniak goes after the first one, hits this one. Now Paris going to make a big turn. We'll see if decide to set him. No, he'll hold there at third. So 2 in scoring position, back-to-back hits. They're on the first pitch, Paris and Moniak, 3 in a row for the Angels. Phil, this Angel lineup is having a breakout with you on the headset, by the way.
Well, I mean, we're on the fastball. If you've noticed, I mean, we see a fastball early in the count. Any point, that's one of the things that we've kind of talked a lot about this spring training with Marcus and Phil and the hitters, that we didn't hit the fastball very well last year, and that's kind of been an emphasis, more so to just be on time to hit it. and in a good position to where if you get a breaker and you get a ball that's left up in the zone with some spin on it, we can still whack that one too. But you know, you can't get beat by heaters as hard as guys throw these days, and we've certainly jumped on a few today.
You know, Phil, I talk a lot about timing up here when I'm doing these games. What are the conversations that you guys talk about timing-wise? So just people get a different idea of there's different ways to communicate timing.
Yeah, that's more, you know, the guys in the cage and the hitting and stuff like that, they really do a great job. They talk about it nonstop. I mean, we beat the drum on it, just understanding you got to be in a good hitting position and ready to launch when the ball's on the way. You know, some guys have different timing mechanisms. Some guys have different ways of, you know, creating some speed into the ball before, you know, in their swings. And, you know, the great thing about Marcus and Phil is they work a lot with guys' strengths. They build off guys' strengths, and it's a nice play. They build off those guys' strengths and get those areas and make them stronger.
Yeah, Ahmed to Walker for the final out. Phil Nevin, really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, no problem.
All right, that's the Angels manager, Phil Nevin. Angels have a 9-4 lead as we go to the 6th.
Name an ingredient you can see in this kind bar to win.
Almonds. I see almonds right there.
Yep, almonds. It's almost like the universe was talking to you.
Oh.
Here's your prize.
Nice.
Ingredients you can see and pronounce.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, and unexpectedly, light beer.
Your crew with an awesome view. Everything you love stacked right in front of you. Got your icon pass, power slashing. 50 plus destinations going at the weather station. That's the good stuff, yeah, it's the good stuff. Getting nature vibes makes you feel so alive. Sierras, the Rockies, the trees, the mountain breeze, the powder highway, the road was you get a beat and adventure runs deep. That's the good stuff, yeah, it's the good stuff.
America is on its way to becoming the world's clean energy superpower, and silver is about to replace oil. Clean energy technology is reliant on silver, and believe it or not, we don't have enough silver to cover America's energy requirements, let alone the world's.
So is silver really expensive then?
It's not. Start with Noble Gold's Gold and Silver Investment Guide. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com.
Matt Moore on the mound for the Angels here in the top of the 6th inning. The last free agent signing the Angels made first week of camp. So good for Texas a year ago. Back into a bullpen role here with the Halos. David Smith to lead things off. Bunch of changes for the Angels here in the inning. We'll get those to you coming up in just a moment. Matt Moore gets set to work. Left-handed. This Angels bullpen gets ahead. First pitch strike. It's Jones at first. Paris still at second. Soto in for Drury at short. Warner Blakely's at third base. Chad Wallach's the new catcher with Barrera in left. Moniak in center. And Jordan Adams in right field. And just like that, Matt Moore comes in, gets ahead quickly 0-2 on David Smith. Sharper over to first base. Jones, who just came in, makes the flip to Moore in coverage. 3-1 on the putout for the first out here in the 6th. Denny, we just had Phil Nevin on, and it was great hearing some insight from the Angels dugout, kind of a little better understanding the Angel philosophy. I was most encouraged by what he had to say about Anthony Rendon, because this is such a critical player for the Angels' success.
It really is. It gives you that length. But it's the availability, and I think it's so critical when you can constantly write the same name, the superstars in the lineup day in and day out.
Castillo gives a drive through this one. Hits it to Left center field wall goes off the wall. Castillo goes into second base standing up.
But it is nice hearing about the health. It means he took care of his body, and there were times when he didn't know if he's going to be able to get on the field. But I think you look at him and you see him take on some leadership role. It allows other guys to take a little less off of their plate. And I think that's critical, because as a young player coming up, I knew that if I could go up and talk to a veteran guy, and it just wasn't one guy, if it was, because everybody sees the game a little bit differently. If you get 3 or 4 different perspectives, it's only going to increase your baseball IQ and allow you to become a better player down the road.
Munoz, chopper third base. Blakely, backhand, makes a throw on the run, not in time. So infield hit for Munoz. Advances Castillo to third. Runners at the corners with 1 gone. Denny, I would also think that the clubhouse dynamic has to be different this spring training. No Shohei Ohtani in that room. No Mike Trout in that room. Anthony Rendon now becomes that focal point, and if that's something he's going to shy away from, that could have a negative impact. If it's something he's going to embrace, one would think that could have a pretty positive impact.
I think it's been a positive impact so far when you listen to Phil Nevin talk about him and what he went through last year, not being able to be on the field at the end. He could have gone home and been with his family. He decided to stay, take on that role, and it just shows you how vested some of these guys are. And that's what you want to see as a fan base, too.
Here's the 0-1 for Moore. Check swing. Foul tip for a strike. 0-2. Canzone doesn't like it.
I think Moore's going to have an opportunity to get some really big outs for this Angels bullpen this season.
Just trying to figure out what the Angel bullpen's going to look like. One would think Estevez probably the front runner for that closer role, but you got Aaron Loop with Team USA, Ryan Tepera back for another year. Matt Moore certainly could handle some high leverage innings. Jimmy Herget has to be an interesting piece. That one gets away from Wallach, but holding at third will be Castillo. Not holding is Munoz, who makes a 90-foot advancement to second base.
It's going to be interesting to see who gets the ball and when they get the ball. But at the end of the day, it's relying on that 6-man rotation to be able to get a little bit deeper. Can you give the bullpen guys clean innings coming out of the bullpen, where they're obviously a little bit more comfortable?
Comes the 1-2 on Canzone. 2-2. $9,622 fans here at Tempe Diablo. There is not an inch of grass available with all the fans here as Canzone lifts this one to right field. Going back for it is Adams. Adams at the wall. Gone! Dominic Canzone, a 3-run homer. Angels still have a 2-run lead, but now it's 9-7.
Breaking ball in the middle part of the ball, middle part of the plate right here. Having a plan, Dominic Canzone walking up the home plate, and just actually that pitch was not in the middle of the zone. That pitch was pretty well executed down, but that's just approach. Try to get underneath the ball, hit a sac fly.
Yeah, not a bad pitch.
Not a bad pitch at all.
And Canzone still able to drive it. You do know, and sometimes when you're in Arizona, ball can sail a little bit. That ball was hit hard. Ahmed still in the game. Sees that one miss from Moore.
Veteran guys like Moore just come in, try to get their work in. Sometimes it's oh ho hum. I look at situations like this, and that's certainly not what he's doing. I'm not saying that about him and let me just come in and get my inning of work and go play 18 holes here. But sometimes these are things that are really good because it gets your adrenaline kicking in. You know, I go back to when big league guys would go down to the minor leagues and get a start. Remember Felix Hernandez going down and pitching in a AAA game when I was with the Mariners and just got absolutely ambushed one day. That pride kicks in and you start saying, okay, let me go execute here.
1-2 on Ahmed, and there you go. The bounce back for Moore. Gets a swinging strikeout right after giving up the 3-run homer to the 9-hitter in Canzone. Faces a true major league talent in Ahmed and goes and gets a strikeout right away.
And I think this is the best pitch he's thrown this inning. Really good arm speed to this changeup. And like you said, gets an established major league hitter right there. Now it's almost like, okay, it's time to check in. Here we go. And it's nice to see him be able to come back after the home run to the 9-hitter.
Carson Kelly sees that one miss in.
He just looks a little bit sharper since that ball left the ballpark.
Big news overnight. Aaron Loup joining Team USA. More important piece of this Angels bullpen. We'll get a chance to hear from Aaron Loup coming up shortly, so don't go too far away. Ball and a strike with 2 outs on Carson Kelly. I spoke with Aaron earlier this morning. He is excited and a great opportunity. I think he's going to be a good addition for Team USA. 1-2 on Kelly. Moore and Loup, the top 2 left-handers in the Angels bullpen. 1-2 to Kelly's low. So they're going to call a timer violation against Matt Moore there. Pitch was low anyway, still 2-2.
Learning more and more about the new rules the entire time that we're here. Home plate umpire called time, but as that pitch is thrown, if Kelly swings at that pitch and something positive happens, he's able to take the positive result instead of just the ball.
2-strike base hit into center field. Carson Kelly, 4th hit of the inning for Arizona. How about the Angel bats today? 13 hits, 4 doubles, 2 homers.
Yes, please. Like it's something that we highlighted in the opening. The amount of damage that these guys are going to have a chance to do here. And, oh, by the way, Trout's got no hits today. Shohei doesn't have any hits today. 0 contribution to this offensive onslaught that we've seen. Obviously, they're not here, but...
could we include the RBI double that Shohei had against the Czech Republic today? Does that count? What about what Mike Trout does across the street?
The electrician?
Yeah, off the electrician. That was pretty good.
What do you think Mike Trout does first AB today?
Walk. The Great Britain pitchers, they're not going to want to mess with Mike Trout. But once they do, nice pick there by Paris. Able to get it over to Jones at first. Blue had to get out the way. Well, Arizona scores 3, but the Angels still have a 2-run lead. It's 9-7.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out that General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
If your child has diabetes, you'll love how easy Dexcom G7 is. It's on, and he's off. You can see his glucose numbers right on your phone, so you can always be there for him with Dexcom G7.
The majority of my patients with sensitivity, I see irritated gums and weak enamel. Sensodyne sensitivity gum and enamel relieves sensitivity, helps restore gum health, and rehardens enamel. I'm a big advocate of recommending things that I know work.
A man, his tractor, and his family. These are the Upshaws, though he goes by Shaw, which stands for skilled hands at work. Because whether he's cutting hair, mowing grass, moving earth, or even roasting marshmallows, he's got a firm grasp on what matters most. There's a story in every piece of land. Run with us on a John Deere tractor and start telling yours.
Experience the exhilaration of the Performance line at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
I'm not looking for another job. I'm looking for the right culture. Somewhere that has that certain something that isn't listed in the job description, even though it should be.
Next on MLB Network, new pitch clock, shift restrictions, bigger bases. Get a full breakdown on all the rule changes for the new season ahead. MLB Tonight. What's new in 2023? Coming up next on MLB Network.
Angels with a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The World Baseball Classic begins tonight for Team USA. Aaron Loup, new member of that American roster, just pitched the scoreless inning against Team USA here on Thursday. Now he joins that American squad, and we spoke with Aaron Loup about it earlier today.
It's very exciting. Anytime you get a chance to go play for your country and put that USA across your chest, it's definitely an honor.
How did it all come together?
Well, unfortunately, I'm guessing one of the guys got hurt, tweaked a hammy, and so I got a call from Phil yesterday saying DeRosa was looking for somebody to help him out, and I was more than happy to do the job.
I know you just pitched against them the other day. How much maybe during that game we're kind of looking over there going, I'd like to be part of that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you always want to have that opportunity, and I definitely took advantage of it. Pitched well the other day. I definitely think that helped me out a little bit. But I also played with DeRosa, I think, back that was 2013. So we got a little past history, too, and I think, you know, I could help out a little bit, maybe.
Well, Jordan Adams was just playing for Team USA on Thursday. Didn't get a name or number on the back of the jersey, but taking that Team USA mojo with him here. Ends up leading off the inning with a solo blast for Jordan Adams. Beautiful swing right here for the young fella.
What a beautiful swing right there. Get something out over the plate that you can do some damage. Get it up in the air today. Ball's flying today.
Third home run for the Angels on the afternoon. Arizona said no trouble leaving the yard either. Saw the Canzone 3-run shot last inning. Warner Blakely batting now. For Jordan Adams, that his first home run of the spring. You know what I thought was pretty cool in that matchup with Team USA against the Angels is the Angels sent some players on loan over to that Team USA side, and I spoke with Jeremiah Jackson about this. I spoke with Zach Neto about it, and I talked with Jordan Adams, and they all said the same thing. The one player that really stepped up and spent a lot of time talking to them, mentoring them, helping them was Tim Anderson.
I'll tell you what, I haven't seen enough of Tim Anderson, and I do know that he does not get the credit that he deserves. Incredible baseball player, but what a human being. To be able to understand the magnitude of that moment for those young players and let them soak it in by really making them a part of it. It's not like, hey, come over here, kid, carry my bags. And I wouldn't expect that, nor would I think anybody would expect that from Tim Anderson. But just a quality human being and life, just life experiences, life moments, memories the other day when Team USA was here taking on the Angels. And it's great that you had a chance to talk to him. How big were the smiles when you were talking to them about that?
Well, Mark DeRosa told me it was like Christmas morning for them. They were really excited as Barrera chops this one over to Walker. So a quick out there after the Blakely walk. One gone here in the inning. O'Hoppe being pinch hit for. So you lose one great young bat and replace him with another is Trey Cabbage. With a big 2-run shot against the Dodgers yesterday. Steps in. Trey Cabbage lifts this one to center field, and that one's going to be caught on the run. Patino just came into the game tagging. And advancing there will be Blakely. And that was one heck of a play in center for Patino.
Play by Patino here, obviously playing a little bit deeper as we continue to move through this game, and balls absolutely flying. Not shocked to see a barrel off Trey Cabbage's bat. Cover that ground, young man. I thought actually he dropped the ball, but that was just his glasses coming out. But really good read on the bases. All around a really good baseball play.
So the Angels get a run on the Adams homers. We have a meeting on the mound here, and it looks like that's going to be it for Tyler Gilbert. We have a pitching change here in the desert. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Angels with a 10-7 lead and threatening with a runner 90 feet from scoring when we come back here on Bally Sports.
Childproofing is hard. So we made one thing simple. Duracell lithium coin batteries. They're the only ones with a bitter coating to help discourage swallowing.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, and unexpectedly, light beer.
Red Lobster's finer points of fun dining. At Lobsterfest, whether you're a seafoodie or a lobster newbie, there's something for everyone. Try one of 6 dishes like new lobster and shrimp tacos for $17.99 and leave completely lobsessed. Welcome to fun.
Asado is Argentinian fine dining with a warm and inviting atmosphere. An Argentinian steakhouse featuring authentic dishes, nightly live entertainment, all in an upscale dining experience. Enjoy Chef Anthony's latest creation at Asado, located on 1450 Sarno Road, in the heart of Melbourne. Asado by the Grand Manor.
Investing in gold doesn't have to be complicated. I'm Colin Plume, the CEO of Noble Gold Investments, and I want to take the time to show you how investing in a gold IRA can help you hedge your bets against inflation and other economic concerns on the horizon. Visit Noble Gold Investments and get our free gold investment guide on buying gold the right way. And make sure you're investing with the right company. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com.
Here with the Angels on top, 10-7, 2 outs. Face Taylor Jones. How about this? McGuff comes in, brings his personal catcher with him, at least personal catcher for the day, P.J. Higgins. They both came together running in from the bullpen. You don't see that every day. Taylor Jones fouls the first pitch back.
Reminded me of watching the Players' Championship. Guy running in with his caddy right there. It is moving day. It's Saturday.
That it is.
Dude, they got to the mound. He was like, what do you think? About 60 feet. Give or take a couple inches.
Oh, what on Jones? I love spring training for that. Now 0-2. There's quirky things. You know, today we had a pitcher in the game, replaced, comes back out for the next inning. That's what happened with Zach Davies earlier today. A full battery comes in, running in from the bullpen out in center field. That's just beautiful.
A sentence that's constantly thrown around in professional sports is stay ready, right? You always got to stay ready. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, McGuff he comes in, gets a strikeout of Jones immediately. So the Angels leave a runner at third base, but one across on the Jordan Adams big-time blast as the Angels have a 10-7 lead.
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food back.
Tums. Name an ingredient you can see in this kind bar to win.
Almonds. I see almonds right there.
Yep, almonds. It's almost like the universe was talking to you.
Oh.
Here's your prize.
Nice.
Ingredients you can see and pronounce.
Wait, hold up. DQ put fries and onion rings in a chicken strip basket? I mean, you got fries and onion rings together. Is this for real? Oh, yeah, it just got really real. DQ, happy tastes good.
Some light beers taste half empty. Ours is filled with gold. Modelo Oro, treasured for its smooth, elevated taste and crisp, clean finish. 90 calories, 3 grams of carbs. It's the gold standard of light beer.
Research shows people remember ads with a catchy song. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, here's a little number you'll never forget.
Did you know that Liberty Mutual
they're just going to live in there?
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. The official MLB ballpark app. It's the best way to access, manage, and share your tickets with friends and family to any MLB game. It's your personal companion for when you're at the ballpark, helping you with venue info, dining options, exclusive club offers, and so much more. And it's a great way to capture your visit by adding photos and memories from a fun-filled day at the game. Download the free MLB Ballpark app on the iOS App Store or Google Play today.
Here's the first pitch on Buddy Kennedy. And it's a strike. Carlos Estevez in to pitch for the Angels here. So we're seeing some of the top-end relievers in this game for the Halos. Here's the 0-1. Knocked down Blakely. Long throw. Can't quite get it there in time. Kennedy is on. What do you think? Thumb up or thumb down?
Oh, that's an error.
They're going to give him a base hit.
Like I said, it's a base hit. It's easy to see that. Come on. What I'm looking at right now is Carlos Estevez. And last time when I had a chance to watch him from this angle, felt like his direction was off. Felt like he was pulling a little bit to that first base side of home plate. Just arm dragging, rhythm off, things of that nature. Watching him really kind of get down into his direction, feel like it's better to start, which is going to allow him to be able to command both sides of the plate.
Carlos Estevez, who figures to be the closer for the Angels this year. It's a role he at least could get. Probably the front runner right now. Jake Hager batting. Ball and a strike. For Carlos Estevez, his last time out, much better. Ended up tossing a scoreless inning against the Guardians earlier this week. First couple outings, got knocked around a little bit. Had a tough go against the Dodgers a week ago Friday, but as camp has progressed, Estevez has started to settle in. 2-1. This one is hit well. High fly ball, left field, no doubter. 2-run home run. Hager goes deep, and just like that, it's a one-run game.
Sometimes ownership is the best thing that can actually happen once a play happens. As Estevez delivers this ball, and once it leaves the ballpark, winds up looking at his catcher, Wallach, and just pointing to himself and patting his chest and saying, you know what, that's on me. Like he's got to obviously take ownership and feel like he's got to be a little bit better. Chance to reset right here, get back to doing and accomplishing what you really want to.
So Moore gave up the 3-run shot in the 6th. Estevez allows a 2-run homer to Hager here in the 7th. No shortage of long fly balls here in this game. 10-9 is our score. We have seen plenty of offense here on this Saturday afternoon.
Trent, you brought it up earlier when we were talking about Brett Phillips, about spring training stats don't really matter. But in essence, you have to find stuff that do matter. And what could be the consistency of working ahead, getting soft contact for some of these guys that the Angels are going to rely on to get big outs this season. And I don't think panic is setting in, but at least it gives the coaches an opportunity to see certain pitch mix, certain situations where they're more comfortable, relationships with guys they're throwing to. All of these things factor in.
Whole lot of crooked numbers in this game. 28 hits so far combined. I think you bring up a good point for Estevez. I mean, at what point is it feel? Is it just progression from the offseason? Is it fighting, making progress versus competing? Like, at what point does it become, okay, I'm ready to go for the season? Because it seems like every year it takes a little bit longer for the pitchers than it does for the hitters.
I'd say freeway series.
Yeah.
And I say that because traditionally managers like to get their closers in early in games, and obviously he's here in the 7th inning, but get them in, get their work in, get them done. It's never the high stress that it is during the regular season until that freeway series comes around. That's when the adrenaline's really kicking in. 3 decks, but that's what they've earned the right to be able to do. So you don't put much into it, but yet you really go, okay, he's still our option.
There's a strikeout of P.J. Higgins. And now we'll take a word from Hyundai.
Get away with a great deal only at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
A.J. Vukovic, the batter here for Arizona. Esteves, first pitch strike, gets ahead in this count.
Trent, the other thing I felt like when I was a manager in situations when you're dealing with guys in spring or the regular season, it really didn't matter. Having an opportunity to put your hand on their chest, feel heart rate, look them in the face, see what their eyes are telling you. So this is information that not only Phil Nevin, but also Matt Wise and everybody involved in these decisions are getting an opportunity to see when these guys come into the dugout. It's hard for me to put much stock into evaluating a guy who's going to pitch and try to get the last outs of the game, and he walks off the mound and his heart rate isn't pumping and there's no adrenaline.
Vukovic goes down on strike, so after giving up the home run to Hager, Esteves sits down the next 3 in order, including Higgins and Vukovic on back-to-back Ks. We got a good ball game as it's stretch time here in Tempe. 10-9 Angels.
Experience the capability of the complete line of SUVs at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out the General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
Get ready for the best St. Patrick's Day of your life. Feast like family. Toast like royalty to guys with beards and guys with James beards. Because life rewards the brave and Guinness is for the bold. This St. Patrick's Day is for everyone.
Up next, Deli Witch from Hot Pockets. Ham and cheese on delicious bread, a must-pack for every parent. We now go to Matt, currently stuffing his face.
Deli Witch from
Hot Pockets.
Awesomely
Carrie and Alex use T-Mobile for their mobile service. Steve and Anna have Spectrum Mobile. What's the difference? With T-Mobile, Carrie and Alex pay a lot more for their 2 unlimited lines. With Spectrum, Steve and Anna get 1 unlimited mobile line for $29.99 and their second line free. And with Spectrum, there are no added taxes or hidden fees.
We're switching to Spectrum.
Get 1 unlimited line for $29.99 and get your next line free. Visit SpectrumMobile.com/unbeatable, a Spectrum store, or call 844-805-2929 today.
I wouldn't have lasted this long in the entertainment industry if I hadn't taken a few risks. But I'm also a realist because I've seen it all. Gold gives you everything the stock market can't. A hedge against inflation, a protection against economic crashes, and the best way to protect your family and their interests. Gold is the only true global currency. You can get your free gold and silver investment guide today. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com.
10-9 Angels here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Chad Wallach to lead things off for the Halos. First pitch, strike 1. He's Denny Hawking. I'm Trent Rush. Here for Angels baseball. Bit of a breezy Saturday afternoon. The jet stream headed out to center field today, and we have seen home runs aplenty to follow. Wallach is behind 0-2 here. Goff still in there pitching.
Well, I think it's only right that guys are trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark with 0 grass available on the berm today.
It has been fun watching all the kids running after the fly balls and like the dog piles that happen out there. Like you're winning a championship. Trying to get a home run ball as Wallach goes down on strikes. They're having fun out there in the outfield. Not so fun around the Angels complex today. The dreaded cut day. The first cuts were made early this morning as a handful of players got the news of who's going to be on the team, who's not going to be on the team, options, reassignment. It's an option if you're on the 40-man. It's reassigned if you're not on the 40-man. So we have a timeout. We'll pick this conversation up when we return. The Angels have a 10-9 lead.
The majority of my patients with sensitivity, I see irritated gums and weak enamel. Sensodyne sensitivity gum and enamel relieves sensitivity, helps restore gum health, and rehardens enamel. I'm a big advocate of recommending things that I know work.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Get 0% APR, 0 payments for 90 days, and $500 bonus cash on select vehicles. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Childproofing is hard. So, we made one thing simple. Duracell lithium coin batteries. They're the only ones with a bitter coating to help discourage swallowing.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? We should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, and unexpectedly, light beer.
Home internet, what a pain in the... Hey, neighbor!
Try T-Mobile, it sets up so fast.
It's like Wi-Fi that runs on 5G. Home internet from T-Mobile? Wait till you see.
Tell me more, tell me more. One cord's all that you need. Tell me more, tell me more.
Don't you worry about speed.
First round of options and reassignments in Angel camp today, while the Angels have a 10-9 lead in this game here at the bottom of the 7th inning. Looking at that list, Michael Stefanik, somebody that was a big part of the 2022 spring training story. Now we're seeing him on the first round of cuts. Ends up being option.
The guys start to pack their bags and head just down the street to minor league side. Surprised to see Michael Stefanik's name on there. But it just, again, it goes to what we've been talking about the entire spring so far, Trent, and that's just the depth that's been added to this Angels camp.
Well, and one of those players is Adrian Placencia, who's batting here for the first time today. Flies this one back behind third. Duzenak gets there for the out. Jeurys Familia is the new pitcher in the game, by the way, for Arizona. 2 gone here in the inning. But I'm not saying that Placencia is going to be a part of the picture in 2023, but going down the line, and you just kind of look at all the names in there. You know, Drury and Rengifo. Soto is on his way up. We saw Kyron Paris earlier today. Zach Neto, a first-round pick. Placencia has to be in the conversation. Where does David Fletcher fit in all of this? And then that's not to mention the great glove that we've seen from Andrew Velasquez. I mean, you just kind of go down the line, and the Angels just have a heavy load of high-level infielders, and it's going to lead to some tough decisions.
A very good problem to have, and difficult decisions, and what you're looking for is just the right guys getting on that airplane.
Mickey Moniak hits this ball hard. Mickey Moniak, and that's going to be a home run. Moniak's first home run of the spring. Straightaway center field shot. Extends the Angels lead to 2. It's 11-9.
Just keep putting homers on the boards, Angels. Love to see it. What I'm looking at is just another guy coming in, getting an opportunity, getting ready to hit. Put some 2 for 2 on the day. And training the open, we did talk about 20 homer guys. We may get to 20 homers today.
There have been a lot of, we're at 20 runs. Does that count? The next hit will be the 30th. Pitch in there on Soto, 0-1.
I love when the wind's blowing out in spring.
Angels as a team, 4 home runs in this game. We've seen 2 from the Diamondbacks, so a capacity crowd here at Tempe Diablo has been treated to a bevy of blasts. 6.
None of them have been cheapies either.
No, not at all.
I mean, off the bat.
Tough play. Soto trying to beat it out. What a play. Back behind second. Kennedy gets the toss over to the covering Familia. Boy, that was hitting no man's land, and that was a heck of a play by Kennedy. The Angels have a 2-run lead.
I wish that Shaq was my real-life big brother.
What's up, little bro? Turns out some wishes do come true. And it turns out the General is a quality insurance company that's been saving people money for nearly 60 years. For a great low rate and nearly 60 years of quality coverage, go with the General.
Ah, that's where I left my Hint Plus.
Lenny, the Hint Plus was delicious.
And packed with vitamins. Hint Plus has more vitamin C than a real clementine.
New Hint Plus, true fruit flavor plus a boost of vitamins.
Did he just call vitamins vitamins?
For a limited time, new customers get over 45% off at drinkhint.com. That's 36 bottles of immunity-boosting Hint Plus for just $36. Only $1 per bottle. Hint Plus, true fruit flavor plus a boost of vitamins.
Name an ingredient you can see in this kind bar to win.
Almonds. I see almonds right there.
Yep, almonds. It's almost like the universe was talking to you.
Oh.
Here's your prize.
Nice.
Ingredients you can see and pronounce.
Some light beers taste half empty. Ours is filled with gold. Modelo Oro, the light beer worthy of the name Gold. Forged with over 90 years of brewing experience for a smooth, elevated taste. Because light shouldn't be a sacrifice. Modelo Oro, 90 calories, 3 grams of carbs, and a crisp, clean finish. It's the gold standard of light beer.
Welcome back to the show. You know what time it is.
I can't wait to see what you have in store for us today. Is that flour?
I hope so. There we go. Now we're gonna pop this in the oven. Like about 96 middle.
Now, about how long does that take?
And we're done.
Ooh, hot.
Fresh, delicious packs of Top Series 1. And the filling is my favorite part.
Mickey, don't count me out. Moniak hits the home run. Here he is back in center field for the Angels. This was in the bottom of the 7th inning. We just saw it a moment ago. Mickey Moniak with a big swing to center.
You don't hit homers. You don't find barrels. You don't have extra base hits in Major League Baseball games, regular season or spring training, unless you have good rhythm and timing. And earlier we spoke with Phil Nevin about the conversations and the plenty of them that they have in the batting cage and in the clubhouses with their hitters. And conversations about hitting and timing have seemed to have been hitting on open ears so far.
Trying to figure out what the Angels outfield will look like. I think it's pretty set in stone where the starters are at. It's going to be Ward in center, Mike Trout, Ward in left, Trout in center, and in right it's Renfroe. Then there's that 4th outfielder, and you thought coming into camp Brett Phillips was that guy, and he still very well could be because the defense he brings and the speed that he brings, but he's really had a hard time hitting the baseball. He homered earlier today. Great sign seeing that for sure. But then you have Mickey Moniak, who a very high ceiling player, somebody that projects as a probable starter at some point in his major league career, but probably going to open the year in AAA to get some at-bats. I mean, what Moniak has done so far in camp, Denny, he's put some pressure on the Angels to force him into a decision.
It's always been, up until the last few years, it's been the, sorry, kid, you're the 26th man and we only carry 25. Now that has changed to the 27th guy, and how do the Angels play it? In the all likelihood, your 4th outfielder doesn't play much. Plays in blowout games. Both sides of them. He'll pinch run. He'll give a guy, you know, a little bit of time off, but you're not sitting there going, man, we really got a chance to win the West this year if our 4th outfielder has a great year.
Right.
And there are guys on the roster that fill those roles. But with Mickey Moniak being a big prospect, what he's done here in camp, does that almost hurt him in a sense? Like, son, go down and continue to stay like this, and we'll reevaluate the situation. in 2 weeks, in a month, in 6 weeks, what have you.
Coleman Crowe just got a strikeout of Patino a moment ago. Crowe figures to be in that next wave of starting pitchers coming up in this Angels organization. Drafted back in 2019. Didn't throw a pitch as a pro until 2021 due to an injury and then COVID. Relies on that slider as his best pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count here on Duzenet. But I think it's an interesting conversation with Moniak, and the Angels are going to have to determine, okay, well, what's better for him? Is it better for him to hit 2-3 times a week, or is it better to hit every day in AAA? And weighing that decision is something the Angels are going to have to deal with. Essentially, Jones 4-3, 2 gone.
Well, it's the same thing you're looking at in the conversations of the 6th starter. The same conversations you're looking at who is going to round out that bullpen. And you just mentioned it last inning. The depth organizationally in the middle and the added versatility at the major league level. Who's that guy? Who's the guy that doesn't play a whole lot that accrues service time?
Generally speaking, that's where you're looking at defense, right?
Yes. You know, you could also be looking at speed. Who can come in and everybody's watching, go steal us a base here.
Well, it's clearly something that MLB is trying to add back to baseball. Roberts hits this one hard the other way. That one smacks off the wall. Roberts goes into second standing. Another double here in this game. 30 hits, 20 runs. Very entertaining ball game this afternoon in Tempe.
Some really good swings today. This is certainly in the category right there as Barrera can't run it down. Pick it up, get it in, keep him at second. See if Crowe can end this inning with a few well-located sliders.
9 doubles in this game, 6 home runs. What's it go to show you, too? 30 hits in the game, 15 of them have been for extra bases. That's a nice ratio.
Guys are ready to hit. Get the head out. Launch angle.
Phillip Evans. You know, we started today thinking it was going to be about pitching with Jose Suarez, the Angels' projected 5th starter in the rotation. And after he had some early struggles, did seem to settle down later on. 2-1 to Evans.
His last inning being able to throw 5 pitches for a 1-2-3. And you were talking about just his cat-like reflexes on a push bunt to lead off that inning.
Fights it off the other way. Evans to right field. It's going to be an RBI hit. Back to a 1-run game. Evans able to drive in Roberts. 11-10. Halo still by a run.
Piece of hitting here. Ground ball with eyes. I was hoping we're going to come up and make an aggressive throw home here.
Buddy Kennedy's the batter now. Made a nice defensive play in the bottom of the 7th. He had a nice introduction into Major League Baseball.
Buddy wound up picking up his first big league hit while his grandfather and former major leaguer Don Money, you remember that name, right? Was being interviewed by Bally Sports Arizona. Pretty cool. And I think that first hit was a double. My memory is good enough.
Well, he's good for a single right here. Moniak picks it up, throws the 3rd. It's cut off. Buddy Kennedy, big round at first base. The tag was applied by Jones, but Kennedy's back there safely. 3 straight hits for the Diamondbacks here in the 8th inning. And now they have the tying run 90 feet away, and the go-ahead run is aboard.
Fans here at Tempe Diablo just loving the action. 21 runs on the board. This is what you want, right, Trent? Beautiful day, come out, see some of your favorite players, get a couple home run baseballs, watch some good baseball, watch some fundamental baseball, come up, hit your cutoff man, throw back behind the runner. There's a chance to see it all today.
Jake Hager batting. Hager had a big 2-run homer last time up Off of Carlos Estevez. 1 ball, no strikes. You know, if you're the Angels, you're at blackjack right now, 21. You don't want to bust unless it's for you, unless you're going to be the one to do so. And add some more insurance runs here. 1-1. Ball hit by Hager to center field. Moniak able to track it, and there's the final out. Arizona keeps battling back. They get a run. 11-10 is our score as we head to the home half of the 8th in a fun one here in the desert.
Your best defense against erosion and cavities is strong enamel. Nothing beats it. New Pro Enamel Active Shield actively shields the enamel to defend against erosion and cavities. I think that this product is a game changer for my patients. It really works.
What's on tap for the Caggianos? Well, this family of Long Island brewers harvests their own ingredients on their own land, mowing every blade, getting ready to entertain at the only local farm-to-pint experience around. And that's just a Friday. There's a story in every piece of land. Run with us on a John Deere mower and start telling yours.
He's Denny Hockey. I'm Trent Rush. I just got an email from my accountant. I'm going to need him to help me break down all the numbers on the screen at the moment. My goodness, 21 runs, 32 hits in this game between the Angels and the Diamondbacks. Here's we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Luis Frias into pitch for Arizona. Hard thrower. Struggled a year ago in a small sample size, but has touched triple digits in the past. The Diamondbacks as an organization have put a bigger emphasis this offseason in trying to add on more velocity. Now, they did bring back Andrew Chafin, and that's not necessarily where you're going to for velo, but many of the other pickups were for that reason. Jordan Adams is leading off the inning for the Halos. Fouls the first pitch back, and then sees that one miss low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, it's definitely become a velo on both sides, into the plate, and then exit velo, leaving. Got to have guys that can hit it far and guys on the mound that can miss bats.
It's coming in pretty hot right there. 1-2. There's not a radar gun available for us here at Tempe Diablo Stadium, but just eye test tells you this is the most heat we have seen all day, and Adams goes down on strikes.
Ready to put a number on it? Really fast, especially when you could snap it off right there with 2 strikes. Just makes it that much more explosive.
There's Warner Blakely now. Came in for Anthony Rendon, who had a big 3-run home run back in the first inning, gave the Angels a 4-1 lead at the time. I think in that moment, you had a feeling this could be a high-scoring affair. I don't know if we saw this coming. This is kind of like the Cactus League of old. We've seen some like pitchers duels in the desert this year. Arizona used to be known for every game there were a lot of runs. It's kind of been flipped for most of the time. I know you're a Grapefruit League guy coming up with the Twins. Spending so much of your career there.
It's a wet heat over there. It's not a dry heat like it is here. Yeah, the ball doesn't nearly go as far. I never felt, being all my days in the Grapefruit League.
2-2.
Used to be a saying about the long ball, right? People used to dig it or something. I don't know.
Warner Blakely,
too old to remember.
Trying to add to that home run total. Blakely just fouled it off. Hit it hard, but it kind of lost a little bit of steam as it was trailing foul down that right field line. Making the day for some young fans. All right, we're able to do that. Get yourself a baseball. Don't lose it now. No, that's all smiles. 3-2.
Sun finally coming to join us today.
You know, we saw it this morning, and then we've had cloud cover. You can't blame the marine layer. We're too far from the coast for that. Blakely takes another look at a strike. So back-to-back backwards Ks for Frias, who comes into the game and is making a nice impression for the Diamondbacks management here in this 8th inning. Here's Pereira to bat.
This kid's played some really good left field here in spring training.
It was a valuable pickup this offseason for the Angels after having success with Oakland a year ago.
Come on, Luis. Not too much, man. Come on. Come on.
Pereira also delivered a nightmare to the Angels. We don't need to discuss that. 1-0. So I guess that's why he's here now. You don't have to face that. 2-0.
2-0 sit dead red, big part of the field right here. Timing.
So Frias, who you saw pumping up the velo, first two batters facing Adams and Blakely, now with Pereira having a hard time finding the strike zone. The whole world knows this is going to be a fastball. Pereira did. He just couldn't catch up to it. 3-1.
Love the 3-0 green light right there.
Hey, it's spring training. Let's go.
I'm in for hacks like that right there. Screams confidence, screams, yes, challenge me with your best stuff.
There's ball 4, so Pereira's on. He gets his walk anyway.
Let's get this matchup, though, right here. Trey Cabbage. This Frias. Velo versus Velo.
Yeah, Frias is probably the hardest thrower unless we see Ben Joyce in the 9th inning for the Angels. I don't think we will. This will be the hardest thrower we see today. And Trey Cabbage, of all the players left in the game, I don't know that anybody has pop quite like Trey.
Words out.
First pitch off speed. It's a good call. Yeah. You know Cabbage was hunting fastball there. Runner on the move. And Pereira came off the bag. He's out. So our matchup will have to wait. Pereira thought he was able to take second base, but just came off the bag. We got a good one as we head to the 9th. 11-10, Angels ahead.
Childproofing is hard. So we made one thing simple. Duracell lithium coin batteries. They're the only ones with a bitter coating to help discourage swallowing.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Not everyone can say that, but we can. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours.
Experience the elevation of electrification at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
Armstrong, the new pitcher, into the game for the Angels here in this 9th inning. Yvonne Armstrong trying to get a save here in the Cactus League. Protect a 1-run lead on a day where there has been plenty of offense. And we have seen, this is how the last inning came to an end, where we saw Pereira just come off the bag. And yeah, that was one, I don't know, when he dove back, I don't know if he got back safely there. He might have. He did. He definitely slid off the bag, but did he get his hand back in time?
I don't know, but that's one of those things where I look and they wear those big oven mitts where you can't grab the base. I get it, you're trying to protect your fingers from injury, but never a fan of that. I mean, obviously, we didn't do it back in my days, but I wanted to always be able to, if I'm going to slide head first, I want to be able to grab that bag and hook it. You can't do that with these. Slide feet first.
First pitch, a strike on English from Armstrong. You know, one thing I've always kind of wondered about, too, in Major League Baseball, there's obviously an emphasis to bring more base running back in there. The disengagements are a part of that. The bigger bases primarily for safety, but as a result also could lead to more base running. Base stealing, I should say. And you kind of think, well, the one thing about video replay, I've always been one that is a fan of, you just make sure you get the call right.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's just that fraction of an inch someone will come off the bag and the shortstop's going to hold the glove on you and then they're called out. I don't know that that is necessarily the spirit of what you're trying to do on replay. That time, Barrera was clearly off, but I don't know. That's one that I think if that were to be tweaked, I think that would lead to more stolen base opportunities.
Yeah, I think it would, and I'm interested to see who plays checkers with it and who's just playing chess with it as well this season with the addition of the bigger bases. Who's going to take advantage of that? Who's going to add one or two guys to their roster? Who's going to play like, honestly, the Cleveland Guardians did last year? You know, that high energy, run the bases, create havoc. And you look at what they did last year and making the playoffs. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that have that opportunity to do that this year.
English goes down on strikes.
And even taking it a step further, Trent, look at the Angels starting rotation. They've got a chance to have 4 or 5 left-handers in the starting rotation. Being able to, when you're coming up as a left-handed pitcher, you're taught to, most of the times, read that guy at first base. So is it something where they slightly change their motion, start their hands first, a millisecond before they get engaged and bring their foot up? I mean, these are things that I'm all really intrigued. But when I did get to camp earlier this spring and talk to Perry Manassian, he was like, look, we're not trying to trick anybody. We're trying to pound that strike zone, not take advantage of any of these things. We'll let everybody else figure that out.
Angels with 8 strikeouts today as a pitching staff.
No.
Despite the home runs allowed. Check swing appeal to first. They'll say Higgins went. Angels also have struck out 8 times.
So it's a push.
No shortage of home runs in this game. It's going to drop in there for a base hit for Higgins. Barrera picks it up in that field. So the tying run is on for Vukovic, A.J. Vukovic, the batter for Arizona.
We just got done talking about stolen bases.
Nobody brags about a Cactus League championship. Nobody.
Kansas City might.
Well, they're off to a very good start for sure. But it's spring training records are almost never indicative of what the regular season is going to be. There's no correlation. That said, 1-run lead, 9th inning at home on a day where there's been a lot of offense. You want to win the baseball game. That competitive. These guys, they're out here, and even though big picture, the record may not matter, you want to win this game. Vukovic going to try to do that right here, but gives up back-to-back singles. Right in the 5-6 hole, 2 in a row. And Patino now will bat with 2 on as the go-ahead run is on for Arizona.
The offense just doesn't stop here today at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Hunting a lane ball right here. Hunting a ground ball right at somebody. Take care of the first out. Tom Kelly used to preach it. Double plays will just happen.
Armstrong to Patino, gets away. I think that's Wallach catching. That's going to be a wild pitch, so Bolt advance, and that puts the go-ahead run in scoring position now for the Diamondbacks.
So much for the double play there.
Yeah, double play is out. Infield is in. Armstrong, pretty firm pitch right there. Fastball for a strike. Might have pulled that one a little bit. Two-one. Good pitch right there on a 2-1.
I do like Phil Nevin bringing the infield in here. You don't get a chance to work on it very much in spring. Play in.
Trying to win the baseball game. Here's the 2-2 to Patino. Just got a piece. Armstrong tried to blow it right by him.
Pac-Man ball right there. That ball just running in, trying to eat him up.
Should we get to a bottom of the ninth, it'd be Cabbage, Jones, Wallach due up. 2-2. Angels lost yesterday's game on a bases-loaded walk. Jovan got called for a quick pitch on a 2-0, which got the count to 3-0. And he later walked that batter. That resulted in a pitch timer violation. 3-2. There's strike 3. Good battle there, won by Armstrong, 2 gone here in this 9th inning.
I'll tell you what, that was a really good two-pitch sequence right there. The pitch earlier where Wallach winds up saving the run, does his job, great chest hit up, and then that one, just a solid execution. Armstrong's got a chance to get out of this.
Duzenak, the batter. Boy, that's a good way to build some confidence. I mean, if you're able to get yourself in a jam like this, less than 2 outs, tying run at third, go ahead run at second. If you could get out of that jam, that could go a long way. Little broken bag. In comes everybody. Diving. Caught. Placencia got it. And the Angels win the game.
Trent, you say winning, winning really doesn't matter. Look at the excitement right there. Armstrong, Placencia right there. I mean, they are super excited. What a great way to end this ball game right there.
Adrian Placencia, one of those players for the Angels that has impressed more than most with his glove. This is a high-level player, a top 10 prospect in the organization, flashing the leather on a long run to get to this ball.
I mean, Armstrong throws his hands up here. 2 guys collide in the middle, but watch the excitement. Like, yeah.
So Armstrong gets his 2nd save of the spring. And on a day where the Angels gave up a lot of runs, score a lot of runs, Armstrong's feeling it. 11-10 the final. Angels get the W. Defense wins the day. And Placencia's glove gets it done for the Angels here in this one.